kind of go around. I mean, this is fun. This is why baseball in the summer, there's nothing better than a competitive baseball team, because it's a daily and night in and night out what it can bring to you. Right. And this year, it's bringing a lot of entertainment. It's bringing excitement. Now you're fired up. And this is an NL team. We're talking about the Diamondbacks. Yeah. It's not even a team you're really going to be worried about in the playoff picture or anything. This is a team, though, that you're playing that was in the World Series last year. And it's an NL team, yet we now have some disgust, some hate towards the Diamondbacks. And there's some extra fire and motivation for this team that continues, Cody, to be incredible at home. They have, 35 is it now, wins at home? So at Kauffman, the fans are supporting the team. We're starting to see a bump in attendance. And when you watched last night, how do you not want to be back out there tonight or tomorrow at Kauffman when you're seeing the energy and those moments?
Are going tonight.
There you go. We've got our video game tournament. Otherwise, tonight would be it's Buck night, isn't it? Too. So I think tonight would have been a good night. Maybe we'll try to get there later in the week, part of this homestand. But this has been a fun ride, and it continues. And everything that needed to go right post All-Star break to this point has.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, without question, Bobby Witt Jr. this year, by the way, if you're like, hey, all I want to do is I want to go to a game at Kauffman Stadium and I watch Bobby Witt Jr. do what he did last night. Just be great. Bobby Witt Jr. at home this year is hitting .411 with a .465 on-base percentage and a .734 slug with an OPS at like 1,200. So if you go to a home game and you watch the Royals play, good news for you. You are going to watch Bobby Witt Jr. put on a show. I mean, that's what he's doing. Exactly. Straight up. Yeah, that's what you're going to watch. You're going to just watch him put on a show.
Yeah, you're going to see something special every single time out there from Bobby. And last night, just short of the cycle. And then he still got the extra at-bat late. I really thought he was going to get it done once. After he got hit and just knowing that, like, the emotions that were existing, I really thought
he said he blew it. He's mad at himself after a double home run and triple game in which he had 3 ribbies.
What do you think? So this came across my mind. Maybe I was in the minority. So I'm like, okay, he's a single away from the cycle, his final at-bat. I'm like, what happens if he hits one in the gap? Does he just stop it first?
No, they never do.
No, but
I've seen it happen a couple of times, and they never do. Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, I misjudged the ball.
I stumbled a little bit.
I was turning towards second, and I lost my footing. I guess I got to go back to first.
You know what's funny about that is the one person who can't do that is Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah. He never looks like he's stopping at a single. He's always doing like a full wind sprint to first base at any opportunity. I've seen legitimate singles. Like, they are singles. They should be singles where Bobby Witt Jr. ended up on second base. So, like, it's kind of hard for him in particular, Gold, to do it. So, no, I don't think he will be in that case. We were once again last night on Twitter. We've talked about in the show going back and forth on who would be in the fight. And I still stand by Kyle Isbell. Although I think the one we missed the first time was Hunter Renfroe. He looks like he could probably hold his own. Don't you think?
Yeah, Kyle Isbell's the favorite for MMA fighter. I don't know why we got this conversation months ago, and somehow there's
probably because I was calling for a fight as early as like May this year.
Maybe it was that.
I've been waiting for it,
and we both agreed. Yeah, Kyle Isbell, especially after this was before he even had the foul ball off his nose or whatever it was.
Yeah, and he kept running into the outfield wall seemingly.
Fight wise, MMA fighter specifically, Kyle Isbell's my pick there. I'm with you. Hunter Renfroe. I'm trying to think who else. You know, who in the pitching staff? That's what I want to know. Like, is there someone that's sneaky fighter?
Cole Reagans?
Maybe.
Dude, the silent first off,
Brady a little bit just because
Brady's got a little fire.
Yeah.
John Schreiber certainly could probably handle a little business.
Is it the beard for you?
He's a big dude. Yeah. He could probably handle a little business. Somebody mentioned James MacArthur, and I was like, I met James MacArthur. Too nice of a dude.
Very nice guy.
Seems like a sweetheart of a guy. And I'll say that there's a certain level of height in which fighting is a problem because the coordination, length is good, but like there's a level of height where like it's a problem for you to scrap a little bit.
The reach.
Yeah, but they can just get inside you a little easier. I think there's a maximum height. Not all height, just a maximum height. That's all.
Drew will isolate that. Thank you.
That might change the difference. So anyway, at least from that end, I think it was the most fun game of the entire year. We're so much closer to the end of the season. They keep feeling like a playoff team. And I think part of it is because in our lifetime, Gold, when the Royals were good, they were feisty. They stirred it up a little bit. And this team is very sound, very good. Doesn't really get into it much.
But here we go.
Doesn't start a little, doesn't get into it very much with those teams.
Emotions are going to be higher and higher. Now you have to, of course, maintain that, but emotions are going to get higher and higher.
Because they're going to test you to find out if you can maintain it.
And we know in 14 and 15, whether it was the Oakland A's in particular, I think that was one of the series, even the White Sox, right, where they were starting to see what they could get, take advantage of, get away with against the Royals. And as you said, testing them. And I don't think the D-backs were testing. It was just Bobby was kicking their ass last night, and that pitcher, Castellanos or whatever his name was, the other one. But, it just...
Tried to pitch inside a little bit and got away from it.
It was pretty obvious what happened.
He knew what he was doing.
And that's why if you're Lovello, you've been around baseball forever, man. And you're out here, you're actually going to go argue about the Royals retaliating. You knew. The player actually understood it. Was it Moreno?
Yeah, he just went down to first.
He knew. He didn't. He knew it was up.
Like it or not, this is how the sport has policed itself for hundreds of years.
Yeah, the player handled it fine. He knew what was coming. He knew. Hey, we hit their guy. I'm next. You just know it's coming.
Hey, and they didn't hit your best player. They hit the catcher. They let one guy wear it with 2 outs and nobody on. He had to partially know that was coming.
No, he did. That's why, he acted properly, if you will. But their manager, what did you expect, man? And then you came out and you tried to bark at Salvi. Anyway, add some more flavor into the rest of this series now, right? It's more intriguing. It's spiced up a little bit here tonight and tomorrow against the Diamondbacks.
Length is good. They can just get inside you a little easier.
God almighty. Jeez, Cody.
Settle down.
Drew to save that as a drop. What the hell?
Should I not have said it that way?
No.
I was talking about fighting.
Uh-huh.
Fighting. Those are different. I did ask around a little bit yesterday to anybody I knew inside the Chiefs. And then I was listening back to Spag's comments yesterday about Justin Reed. And unfortunately, my initial thought of, surprising to see he's on the NFI list. In Justin Reed, quad injury, probably not a huge problem. This is what Spag said yesterday about it.
There's, Jay Reed, we're not going to have for a little bit here. And so it's a blessing and a curse, right? Jay Reed doesn't get the reps, but somebody else get those reps, and right now it's Jaden that's benefiting from it.
Upon asking around a little bit, I don't think you're going to see Justin Reed for the entire preseason. I don't think you're going to see him at all for camp. I think there's a pretty good chance you don't see him for all of preseason. I think that there's a outside shot of some early season risk based on what I'm hearing on this injury. The biggest problem I think that comes from this, one, I like Spag's idea of hey, we got a lot of safeties and you talked about this. Depth is good. We'll get those guys reps. That's good. The Chiefs have a massive advantage in the kicking game stuff becomes a bit rich. If the guy you had planned to do that can't do it, unless you're planning on using Reese Zammit to be now the kickoff guy and a tackling guy. And in rugby, you have to do both. You can't you play both ways in rugby essentially all the time. So it's not like he's never made a tackle. But it's a disadvantage there. And then it starts to feel like it's signifying the beginning of the end for Justin Reed. They've already been drafting at safety anyway. And then when you add already kind of heard at the beginning, maybe they get a look at some other guys. It just feels like this was a prime year to get himself paid, and now it's off to a weird start.
Oh, for him individually.
Yeah.
For him individually, depending on what he misses, is it just camp? I'm with you. I think camp, for sure, he's out. The question is, are there games going to be missed? Because let's remember, we're still, 44 days away from the start of the season when they open up on Thursday. That is a long time for him to progress. The problem is it's hard for me to tell you you're right, Cody, or you're wrong that he's going to miss the game because we don't know what the injury is. It's a quad. Yeah. We saw him out there coaching guys up. He still was jogging around. Who knows how it's clearly serious enough. There's no reason to rush him anyway.
No, there's not.
I think he's going to miss the rest of camp and therefore preseason because what's the point?
Why put him in a preseason game if he can't be in camp?
Individually, yes, it's a contract season. I think things were already trending prior to an injury anyway, based on the market and financial elements and why they've been so successful as an organization. They're good at having the next crop ready to go. And whether it's needing it this year sooner than we thought in Jaden Hicks, we had Shamari Connor on the show yesterday, whether it's guys like that have to step up sooner. But if not, even a year from now, I think when you draft Jaden Hicks, you're probably hoping that him or Connor or whoever can actually step up and take that role. They got everything out of Tyrann Mathieu a couple years ago, and then they moved on. Now they're going to probably get everything possible out of Justin Reed, and I think he's gotten better as a football player since he's gotten to Kansas City. And then they might have to move on. But in terms of the injury right now, it is bizarre. Non-football injury, who knows, right? Everybody can speculate. Who knows how he hurt the quad. But yes, you get the sense from hearing from Spags, and it sounds like you talk to people too. Camp for sure is seemingly done for him.
Would you judge him differently depending on what it was? Let's just say he hurt his quad playing golf. You wouldn't really care, right? People are allowed to play golf and have hobbies, whatever.
Sure.
But if he hurt his quad like on a mechanical bull at a bar, you'd be like, come on, man. Like, what's the injury in which you'd be like, come on, man?
I kind of want it to be a crazier story, though.
Always. In baseball, it's always the lamest story. It's Salvador Perez stepped off curb out for extended
the injury already happened,
sneezed.
so it might as well be a good story now. The injury already happened. It might as well be a good one. Like playing golf, he's a professional athlete. It's hard for me to believe that he hurt his quad playing golf, knowing that he's just in incredible shape as a professional athlete. I'm not saying you can't hurt yourself, but just
Where
that
things
would
happen,
surprise
different
me.
movement. You know how this works. I have to play golf this Sunday with Dana Wright, Dusty,
Good luck.
and a guy who's like a 4 handicap.
you're
They're
gonna-
going to. Let me ask you this, actually, Drew. Are they going to hate playing golf with me? Dusty's a really good
Yes.
golfer. Dana's a really good golfer. He's a really good golfer. I'm
You're
bad.
going to slow things up for that.
No, I'll play fast. I won't.
Based on Dana's requirement that the person needed to be good at golf, I think she might get a little annoyed.
That I'm spraying it all over the course.
Potentially, if you played golf, I don't think Dusty will have a problem. I think it depends on the people who you play with. Honestly, like if you played golf with me and you shot a 95 and you were all over the place, it wouldn't.
95 might be optimistic.
It wouldn't matter to me.
Okay.
I don't care. I think it depends on who you play with.
Okay. Like, just as long as, again, I don't hold up the course.
As long as you're not doing
I won't
that, then
spend
you're
25 minutes looking for a ball. I'll just
Thank you.
take a drop as it went out of the woods, and we'll all move on with our day. My final score is not going to determine the amount of fun I had on the golf course today. That's why I am pro scramble in all formats. I think it should just be me and Dusty versus him and Dana, and we get like a couple of pops because like I'm a terrible golfer and the other 3 are good. That's it. Problem solved, and then we'll just we'll call it good. Sorry, I just thought I had to ask that.
Thinking of competition, we got one later on today. You guys excited? The bracket is out. We've got our College Football 25 tournament later on today at Hy-Vee Arena, thanks to Level Up. Remember, the winner of the tournament is getting a gaming console. So basically a $500 gaming console.
Can't wait to get that back in my house.
I did find out that we are not eligible, even if you were
What?
to...
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, of course. You guys know how this works. We're never eligible to win prizes from the station. This is how this works.
Not even the jersey?
You cannot win. Yeah.
Oh,
Nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm going to demand a prize, actually.
this
I
is
have no
a
chance of winning, but I'm going to demand it anyway.
Neither of us, the 3 of us, are not winning anyway. But yeah, I got clarification. Like any contest we do, we're not allowed to win the station contest.
I didn't see that in the contest rules.
So, basically, yes, if you make it to the championship game against a host, you already won. Sorry, I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but that's just the truth.
It
Anyway,
puts a lot less pressure on it. You're going to have to put like $500 on it.
my guess is going to be listener versus listener in the championship game anyway. So the bracket
Probably.
is out. Chance to win the console on the line, gaming console, the jersey, the tickets, all at Hy-Vee Arena later on today. Starts at 3 o'clock. I also found out if you just want to come hang out, and we'll have an extra TV set up and an extra console. If you just want to hang out and play games, chill with us, we will all be out there. You can show up even if you're not in the tournament.
Nice.
So
Cool.
That is something that we also learned. But what do you think of the bracket? I don't know who some of these people are, admittedly. You and Drew are on one side of the bracket. I'm not on the same side as you. So I guess, we
We can face each other in the championship game.
Here's
news.
Here's the bracket. Cody is playing. Actually, you are on my side of the bracket. You and I can play in the semis.
I'm on the opposite side of you guys.
Cody plays Arthur Soto.
He texted in earlier.
I saw.
And he said, can't wait to play you later. And I said, cool, man. How many games have you played? And he said, 35.
You're screwed. You're so screwed.
You have no chance.
Oh, no.
You have no chance.
Oh, no.
You are. He does need to be George, actually.
It couldn't have been like 8?
Cody, you're screwed.
35?
Why not play Kennesaw
I've
State?
changed. I will now be playing with the Ohio State University. I've decided I need a running game and a running quarterback because the passing controls are different. So I've changed allegiances. I'm no longer Georgia. I will be Ohio State. And because you played 35 games, you should be like UTSA or something, Take it easy on me. Give me a shot,
I think
Arthur.
so. Arthur Soto is going to
Massacre.
destroy you in round 1. If you were to win, you would play the winner of Michael J. or Nate K.
Not gonna happen. Don't need to worry about that.
Dusty's in the bracket with us as well. He's never played either, so I'm guessing he's getting knocked out. He's
probably getting cooked.
He's playing Curtis. I'm playing someone named Sean Edwards.
The guy from Fox 4 who
That's
does
what I
movie
thought.
reviews?
That's what I thought of right away. That's what, exactly. So if you're listening, Sean, text in. I'm just curious. Maybe you don't want to tell me. How many games have you played? I've been pretty open. I've played decent amount. I played Carrington last night. We had 3 overtime games. Carrington and I played 4 games last night, 3 overtime games. I did not play as the team I'm playing with, though. We randomly played his teams. But Carrington,
Who are you
don't
playing
let,
as
don't
then?
let, don't. I'm
Carrington
playing-
can handle himself a
Don't
little
let
bit?
Carrington act like he sucks at the game. That's not true. That's just
You're playing as KU?
I think so. I think so.
You still don't know yet exactly for sure?
It depends on who the. I'm not.
Oh, wait, Drew, who are you playing with? You told us you were going to tell us today.
You still haven't told us. He walked in today with a smirk on his face. We're like, what are you all
He had
happy
his
about?
jacket all zipped up.
He's
He
like-
said he's wearing the shirt of the team he's playing.
He's like,
It's signing day.
I'm trying to
It's
keep it a
signing day,
secret.
guys.
He won't tell us who he's playing with.
It's signing day. So I played as Wisconsin in the game. Yes. My team, I played as LSU. I even went down to play against you, Gold, as Memphis. I was just trying everybody out.
Yeah, you lost.
I did. I lost with a lot of people, but there's one team that I think gives me the best potential chance.
Okay, let's see. Did I guess right earlier? Did I guess? My guesses
Your
were,
top three were no.
and then
You were wrong on all of them.
Okay, it's not Vatech, it's not Illinois, it's not Purdue. Okay, who are you going to be? Let's see it.
I was going to put Drew on camera, but it's just pointed at a microphone.
All right. Well, without further ado, I'm going to be playing as the Auburn Tigers, baby.
Auburn. I thought it was going to be a way worse team than Auburn.
Yeah, he's
Let's
over here
go,
talking like
boys.
he's going to about to be some
Hold
crappy
up,
team.
I got a surprise.
You have the mascot
Yeah.
with you?
It's a tiger, I guess.
You're Auburn.
That's
you
right.
own an Auburn Tiger mascot? What? By the way, based on the amount
Uh-oh,
of
here
memorabilia.
we go.
Oh, that's right. He's going to sing the fight song.
War, eagle, fly down the field, ever to conquer, never to yield. War, eagle, fearless and true, fight on you orange and blue. Go, go, go on to victory, strike up the band. Give 'em hell, stand up and yell, hey, War, eagle, win
memorized
for Auburn.
did.
Power of Dixieland. As we do not hit the note, but hey, I'm
You know
Auburn
what?
Tigers, baby.
Okay, so you're
Let's go.
Auburn. That's because you want to be what Jarquez Hunter, 90 overall running back. There's
There it
the answer.
is.
That's the answer. His kicker's 83 overall. Two of his receivers are 82 overall. Keandre Lambert Smith and Robert Lewis.
Hang
if
on,
you're
hang
playing
on.
Drew,
Hang on. What overall is Peyton Thorne?
he's not in the top.
Thank you.
He's not in the top 10.
I was going.
Players.
I was going.
Your
a
quarterback
little,
sucks.
I was going a little risky. Peyton
79.
Thorne.
79 overall.
Peyton Thorne was really good at Michigan State for one season. Transferred to Auburn, hasn't done much. But the defense, I realize, has played. I played better with Auburn's defense than any other defense that I played with in the game. So
All right,
I'm
so
rolling
you-
with the Tigers of Auburn.
Here's your problem. We've done some in-depth scouting on a few of our listeners that we can track down. You're on the opposite side of the bracket. You're on the side with Carrington, with Bink.
Joe Summers.
Joe Summers, listener. I've played him a couple
According
times.
to you guys, I'm playing as somebody who's been
You're-
sending you videos of scoring
Yes, that's
touchdowns.
what I was getting
Yeah,
to.
that's correct.
Advanced scouting is not good for you on your opening round matchup. You're playing listener Josh K.
Jeez.
He has been sending us video highlights of him playing as Oregon, which is also not good for you.
Oh, that's
And
pretty good.
He
Last
has
I checked.
clearly been playing. I think based on the photo, he looks to be a little bit younger. He's not the 13-year-old kid that's playing Dusty, when Dusty's going to get destroyed.
Is anybody going to make it out of the first round? I got a kid who's
don't
played
know.
35 games. This guy's sending us video highlights of him
I-
playing. We know a 13-year-old's beating Dusty. It's the summer. He's not even in school.
Odds would
Spec
say
put
that-
out odds. You see the
Yeah.
odds? Spec put out odds, not for listeners because we just don't know. He doesn't have odds for that. But for the station, Spec put out odds. He has Rob as the favorite to finish the furthest as a listener or as a station host, plus 175. He has me at plus 225. Drew plus 275. Mac 4-1. C-Dot 7-1. Dusty plus 750. Bink 11-1. Cody plus 1250. Do you feel is about right? I think Dusty's odds should be just as bad as yours. That's the only thing.
Yeah, agreed.
Dusty should be
Dusty
12-1.
also hasn't played.
Yeah,
My odds are fair.
Has
look,
Bink played?
I'll be no. Look, I think Dusty, Bink, and Cody. You guys are. I mean, I'll put real money on it. You guys are getting eliminated in round one.
Rob might get beat in round one. This guy said he's playing Rob. He's put in 60 hours on the game already.
Okay, so real quick.
60 hours.
Dude, you
Oh my
probably put in
goodness.
20.
10.
I put in.
You sure it's only 10?
Yeah, because
You might have
You
put in
said
more
you played
gold.
like 35 games. That's online. Have you played any like regular season? Have you started
No,
like a?
I haven't done that.
Okay, only
just
online.
online. I played Carrington 4 games last night. We went to 3 overtimes.
Who won? Did he win 3 out of 4?
No.
You went 4 games. Was it 2 and 2?
Yeah, it was a split. Or I can't remember what. We played 5 games, I guess.
Oh,
He got
okay.
me on the last game, and so that was the tiebreaker.
Got it.
But we weren't. But I wasn't playing as Kansas. I played as K-State. I played as Boise State. He played as Arkansas. I played as South Carolina. I wasn't playing my
Your normal squad.
My normal
I'll
squad.
tell you what, if somebody plays as Auburn, I will play. If somebody wants to play as Auburn and I end up facing you, I will play as Wisconsin. I'm going to lose, but I'll play as Wisconsin. I lost every single time I played as Wisconsin so far with this game.
So I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with Ohio State now. Should I change gears based on how much this guy plays? Should I just play with like Iowa and hope to win like 6-3?
One just punt like
just
10
try
times?
to grind. I'm going to try to I just grind this thing to a halt.
Yes.
I need a strategy. You know what it is? I don't want to get mercy ruled.
I don't think anybody's getting mercy ruled because
Plays
remember,
Iowa.
it's All-American mode. It's 3. Well, we're way late for a break. I just looked
Sorry.
I
got a little carried away.
just looked at the
That's
clock.
me for not telling you
I just
guys.
looked at the clock and I was like, holy crap. We'll pick this conversation back up a little bit later. I think we're way late. Up next, go back to some Chiefs football. And Kadarius Toney could actually find himself more valuable on the roster. We'll tell you why next.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino. Don't forget to follow Cody and Gold on the Odyssey app so you can listen on demand to my terrific football takes throughout the year right here on 610 Sports Radio.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
It is that time of the year again where we're starting to make our drive up to St. Joe every couple days for camp. And that means, well, we're getting up a little bit earlier on in the morning. And in the past, that would have been troublesome because I would have had to put in some contacts while my eyes were still tired. You guys know that feeling if you wear contacts. Sometimes your eyes just don't want to cooperate. But it's not something I deal with anymore thanks to DuraVision undergoing LASIK. I simply wake up and I see without contacts and without glasses. And I chose DuraVision because they're simply the best in Kansas City. Over 70,000 procedures have been performed, and they are the folks that put together a plan that fits you, not a one-size-fits-all approach. And right now is a great time to call up DuraVision at 913-491-3330 or go online to DuraVision.com because they have their Friends and Family Savings event going on right now for a limited time only where you can save up to $1,000 on a LASIK procedure. Just go to DuraVision.com or call for that free consultation, 913-491-3330.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Are you in need of top-quality metal for your next project? Look no further than Metal by the Foot. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Steel, aluminum, brass, and stainless. The Foot. Blue Demon Welding Supplies, filler rods, and wire. The Foot. Bronius Professional Welding Equipment, service and repairs. The Foot. Located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the Foot.
Hi, it's Trey Smith, and in order for our team to get a victory, we need honesty, teamwork, work ethic, humility, and the golden rule. That's why my truck is from the dealer that embodies all those values, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also supports Giving Hope, whose sole purpose is to feed and clothe the needy in Wyandotte County and beyond. Giving back in the highest integrity, that's how Jeff and his team do business. For your next vehicle, visit or go to victorychrysler-dodge-jeepram.com.
Get a $10 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 Full Synthetic Motor Oil in-store or online.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Looking for a way to elevate your engine's performance? Start with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. It provides faster oil flow for hot and cold temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions. Regular use can help your engine run cleaner and longer by defending against sludge and buildup, improving overall engine performance and fuel efficiency while increasing the time between oil changes. Make the switch without slowing down. Feed your ride Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
Always find what you love at Total Wine & More. With so many bottles to choose from at the lowest price, it's easy to find your favorite Cabernet or a new single-barrel bourbon to try. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine & More. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock. ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Mom, it's school shopping time.
On it. Ooh, Target has select supplies like crayons and glue sticks for 25 cents, plus markers for 50 cents.
Next, my new Rockstar vibe means new clothes.
Ooh, totally. These graphic tees are $6 and made to last.
And a strawberry lunch bag to match my sweet personality.
Got it, and it's only $5. Let's get your favorite Good and Gather snacks. They're now at a new lower price.
Best team ever.
When it comes to low prices, Target has your back to school.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
It's the dog days of summer. Baseball is in full swing. And unfortunately, so is your work schedule. Stay connected to your local team, even while you're working hard, with your favorite station on Odyssey.com. Get the best in local sports talk, listen live, or jump back to what you missed with Rewind. It's all here, all just a few clicks away. And I'll tell you something, it makes the workday go that much faster. Listen at work. Visit Odyssey.com today to get started.
All right, we'll get back to the college football tournament later, I'm sure, throughout the show. It's coming up this afternoon. Again, if you didn't qualify, come on out to Hy-Vee Arena. We're going to be hanging out. We'll have an extra TV set up if you just want to play the game, watch the tourney. If you can't make it out, we'll have the link sent out later. There's a link you can actually watch everybody playing. It's like a red zone setup.
Oh, God.
Sweet.
I don't need people watching
That's
me
what
play.
I've been told. I don't know. That's what I've been told. I think Level Up already has this website working. So we'll tweet out the link later if you want to hang out there. But just come on out to Hy-Vee Arena. Anyway, let's get back to the Chiefs a little bit. Kadarius Toney, we saw it yesterday when we were up at camp. We saw clips on Sunday when we weren't there. They have him, of course, at wide receiver, but also he was getting some reps with the running back group. Is that a sign that, and there was an option play they used, thinking of college football video game, there was an option play that Mahomes used with Kadarius Toney. Is that an actual role for him? Are they just testing things? Usually they don't waste reps in camp. Andy Reid takes camp very seriously.
He does.
But also at the same time, is it just another way for make sure that he's I think there was an issue is being in the game and being able to focus in on the basics of the game, and is that what this allows him to do during camp?
I think it's their way of trying to find a reason to keep him on the roster. And the reason why is right now there isn't one. He isn't the seventh wide receiver or sixth. He's not Nico Remigio. He's not also going to be on kick coverage. And now he might return a kick.
He might need to be on kick.
He might,
kick
but
coverage,
I'm talking about going down to tackle or going down to do this. Some of those guys lower on the wide receiver depth chart are more willing to do that. And you're more willing to do that. With Toney, you fear the risk of injury with that. You kind of want to save his plays for the offense. And because he's further down the depth chart than Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Justin. He's like 6 or 7.
Right.
You got to find other ways to use players like that so they justify their roster spot. And I think in the absence of Jerick McKinnon Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco's probably like a top 12 back right now, but a straight downhill runner type. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is like, doesn't do anything terrible, but he's not like a super athlete. They miss kind of the like athleticism at the running back position that you and I were talking about in the draft or free agency and what they brought back in McKinnon the last couple of years. Maybe they can kind of cheat the system that way. Third down, oh, look, we just need him to get to the edge for 2 yards. We don't need him to get 20, 30 yards. We just need him to be faster than other people. I actually think the idea behind it's not bad. Don't get married to it, but the idea behind it's fine.
Well, it's pretty simple. As I said about the basics with him, though. I mean, are you confident enough that he's able to do the basics of holding on to the football, not fumbling, right? Maybe we know last year catching was a problem. So are you able to do the basics? They line him at running back. That's great. You can scheme him up all you want. Is he able to actually execute it without screwing up? And that sounds silly, but we all know how that's what the issue was last year. But you're right. If he can suddenly be another option in the backfield that presents some athleticism and that skill set, red zone area. I know it's annoying for a lot of people because they're like, hey, just give the ball to your best players. Why are you trying to get too cute? But we know that's always going to be part of Andy's offense.
And we're just talking athleticism, right?
It's always going to be part of it. But when you laid out the wide receiver room, think about that Kadarius Toney is battling for one available spot, maybe two, with Sky Moore, Remigio, Justin Ross. Like, think about the entire wide receiver room. So you said it. Hollywood Brown is a lock. Worthy's a lock.
Rashee Rice lock.
Rashee Rice is a lock. Justin Watson, in my opinion, are a lock. To me, those are the four locks. Then after that, there's a conversation for the final three spots if they keep 7 receivers. You would say Sky Moore, Toney, McCole Harbin. Maybe you think McCole has a leg
I
up.
think is probably a lock, honestly.
I don't think he's a lock, but he definitely is ahead of the group.
He's 5th on that list.
He is. I don't know if he's a lock, but he's definitely ahead of them. So then you're talking about 2 spots. So for 2 roster spots, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, Ross, Remigio. Who am I missing?
Those are the 4 important ones.
4 for 2 spots.
Yeah. And that's if you keep 7.
That's correct.
And again, some of those guys would be normally expected to play expected to do something in special teams. Now, I get it. Hypothetically, in that case, like McCole Hardman could return kicks. He's returned kicks before, punts before for this team, so it's not ruling it out unless you're counting in Cornell Powell as part of the argument. I was just trying to figure out who we're missing. But I mean, they have to find excuses to keep him on the roster. And honestly, part of me is just like, I don't know, man. If you just need to line up a guy in the backfield to get 2 yards, are you sure McCole couldn't do that? And he's already on the roster, and he's already ahead of and has already been more productive at any point of his career than what you've seen out of Kadarius Toney at any of his stops. It's like, part of me is like, don't fool around. But I think they're still teased by the athleticism.
But they already
and if
have
there's 10 to 12 plays that make sense, then fine.
Maybe not the sheer athleticism, but just speed. I mean, they have that in Worthy and Brown.
Yeah.
And I'm just drawing a blank. Brown, Worthy, and Hardman. Sorry.
Yeah.
They already have
Brown and
that.
Worthy, you don't want them in the backfield. Does that make sense?
No, I'm just saying
they've got no place back there.
Right, but they can move guys in motion and have Worthy line up initially in the backfield and then move them out. Like, they can do all kinds of stuff with anybody. We've seen that with McCole Hardman. So it'll be interesting with Toney. If you're thinking that Toney, Moore, and Justin Ross are all making the team, I just don't think that's possible.
Yeah, and I don't think so either. I think that they're probably going to. This is what makes it interesting for Sky is, what else does Sky offer? He's done punt returning for this team kind of mediocre. Like, I'm not saying he didn't have a big punt return, but overall, right? Job was a fine. Like, not miserable, fine. They're not trying to line him up in that thing. They're not moving him. Like, other than the fact he was a 2nd-round pick, and they gave up a 3rd-round pick for Toney. So, I mean, similar compensation for
money matters,
guy.
and if you're talking about, it's
they can actually save money by cutting Sky. They have to pay Toney no matter what.
Position flexibility for the final spot if you can help on special teams and all that, yes. But also, $2.3 million, $2.5 million is on the books no matter what for Kadarius Toney. Is there another team that has an injury late in camp and you're able to get a conditional 6th or 7th round pick plus free up some money by trading somebody like Toney or Sky Moore right as camp ends? Maybe that's an option as well. We'll see. We mentioned this camp battle for the final wide receiver spot, essentially. Who's hurt? Who's healthy? Are they going to make it through all of camp with not a single wide receiver getting hurt? We'll see. I hope so, but That's also something that usually doesn't happen.
No, and Worthy's been out 2 days with illness, by the way. They're
throat.
saying strep throat, so he'll be back at some point.
I think he'll be all right.
But, I mean, yeah, again, ideally, and yeah, sometimes those problems do get solved, but you have to remember last year the Chiefs did suffer through some injury and had to kind of battle that a little bit. For the most part, they've actually been relatively healthy. Like, they've done a better job than in previous years of staying healthy here lately, especially at wide receiver. That's not an oft-injured position for them lately. They just didn't get good performance. Their wide receivers just stunk. And I know they could easily just explain away, just like we do with like Brady Singer. They could be like, well, Kadarius Toney got hurt at the beginning of last year, and then he never really got to get his feet under him. But, I mean, they were making up injuries.
Well, he flat out cost him
to keep him off the roster, and he was costing him games. It was just a mess last year. So that's still my biggest fear with Toney is when they give you the ball, can you just not screw it up? You don't always have to get the yards. Sometimes guys don't get the yards. Sometimes the pass is incomplete. Sometimes you punt the ball away. Can you just not make things worse? The same sometimes is livable. That's my approach for NCAA football later. Can I just not make things worse for myself? Can I just not throw pick sixes?
I mean, if you want a quick way to not have any chance to win, just throw a pick six on your first drive and you're toast. Look, the Kadarius Toney situation, being at camp, no issue. I mean, go back to, you can find the audio in February. You and I had conversations after the Super Bowl about what the roster could look like. And, a lot of people wanted him cut, and I would have been fine with it in February. But also, we had a conversation that, hey, there's no harm in having Sky Moore and Toney in camp with you. Why not? Like, no harm. Now, let's see what happens as camp progresses. But having them in camp, you need bodies, and why not? I mean, there's no issue with having them in training camp. And that's where we're at right now. So let's just see how the next 3+ weeks play out. We're 44 days away from the start of the season.
Yeah. I mean, again, trying stuff now. And again, I don't think these are wasted reps. I don't think Andy Reid's just doing this just to, we'll see. Mm-hmm. I think he honestly thinks that this is a good way to use Toney, keep Toney on the roster, which is funny though. Like, you don't have to bend over backwards. He's not on this roster this year. This is it for Kadarius Toney. Now, I would have said that about McCole Hardman when he left, and here he is.
He also caught a game-winning touchdown
pass
in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
And he's also just been we say that, he's been a far more productive NFL player than Kadarius Toney.
Yes.
Just significantly more productive in his career up to this stage. And it seems like Tony's always got some little weird relationship with the teams that he's with. You had asked me yesterday, and I felt like it was worth asking this just in general. I don't want to bring the mood down. Yesterday, it was incredibly fun to watch Bobby Wood Jr. play baseball. But one of the things you had said yesterday was, you're like, you know how nice it is because you also don't have to sweat. That he's getting ready to walk out the door. You're like, no, you're good. Bobby, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we got some years with Bobby, right? Some guaranteed years with Bobby before he gets to start making the choices of keep paying me this money or opt out, but years and years and years. I was asking myself the question, so I'm curious because we've got a lifetime Royal in Salvador Perez. I think people are really starting to have the conversation of, is Bobby Wood Jr. good enough to surpass the single greatest Royal of all time, which is George Brett, a guy who is a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best players in his sport while he was playing it. Do you think Bobby Wood Jr. will get a contract after this one?
Oh, jeez.
I'm just asking. Again, I'm not trying to bring the mood down. Do you think Bobby Wood Jr. will be under contract with the Royals after this contract?
History would say no. I think if you make me,
he's so good. I think the answer is yes. I think you just almost can't let him go. Now Bryce Harper was gone.
I mean, here's why it's
cost prohibitive at some point.
Very difficult question to answer because assuming it's the same ownership group, right? That helps because they've already shown a willingness to spend. At that point in time, by the time this deal is up, they'll ideally be in a new stadium. So does that mean new revenues coming in? If that happens, those are two things that help the case for it. I think there's so many factors into this, man. History would tell us no. The history of baseball, the reality of the financial, economic,
spend their entire career.
It just doesn't happen. I think you and I have talked about how Salvador Perez is likely to be the final Royal to ever start and finish his career in a Royal uniform. Yeah. The reality of the game of baseball financially. Typically. So I think the odds-on favorite, like if we were setting odds on. And I hate this conversation. I really do.
It bums you out, doesn't it?
I really do. The odds in 7 years of him being here would be plus money. The odds of him leaving would not. But I truly hate this conversation. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, man.
I mean, look, I can't argue that end of it, but I think he'll be here. I think that there's a point, and I think it was Jeff Passan who just pointed out, Bobby Wood Jr. is now the leader in F-WAR in all of the sports. So he is the most valuable player in baseball, according to
He's
a
been
metric
that since August in just basic war.
Sure.
But now F-WAR.
F-WAR, which is, I think...
what about Z and X?
I don't know. F is the one that most respected baseball people care the most about, even more than regular war.
C-WAR is my
Standard
favorite.
war.
C-WAR,
He's more valuable in baseball than Aaron Judge is to his team right now, according to at least a couple of metrics. I think it's going to be really hard because here's one thing I will give the Royals credit for. Not that no Hall of Famers have ever left, but the couple of times that they have had truly generational players. To me, Salvador Perez at catcher is that, right? Very few catchers in the entire history of the sport have done what Salvador Perez has done, and he has managed to stay with this team. George Brett did things very few players in his sport had done at that time, and now Bobby Wood Jr. is doing those things. Part of me thinks that they'll just figure it out. I don't know how financially yet. But part of me thinks that they'll just figure it out.
As I said,
it was so fun to watch.
Let's enjoy where we're at. That's why we can enjoy now because he is under contract. It's not, oh my gosh, he's having such a huge year. There's no way they're going to be able to afford him. Thank goodness JJ Piccolo, John Sherman in the front office were able to get this deal done with Bobby while we were in Vegas for the Super Bowl that day. We'll never forget that day.
No,
the only thing that could have happened baseball wise that would have prevented us from talking Chiefs during Super Bowl week.
Talked Bobby Wood Jr. the entire day.
And it was obviously well worth it and warranted based off of what he continues to do. He's going to. It's a guarantee now. A guarantee now that he's finishing top 3 in MVP.
Yes, it's a lock, and he has a real. I'm telling you, he has a real shot at winning it. Now, he's going to have to keep playing white hot.
He's got an uphill battle, I think, to win it still, based off of the unfortunate nature of baseball with a big market in New York and what that presents for Aaron Judge. But yeah, he's got a shot to do it, and he's definitely finishing top 3 now.
Is it as simple as if they won the division, he'd win it?
It's not as simple as that. No, it would.
I think it's close.
I think
that would be a massive swing in his favor.
I think it's a requirement for him to win it. Just the way that.
Because right now, Judge is ahead of Gunnar Henderson, and they've been battling back and forth in the division for a good chunk of this season, and others.
Yeah, I think it's a requirement though for Bobby to
win the MVP. You think they got to win the division?
If you're telling me
it's not the same as football, they'll let you win an MVP and not be the division winner.
I think MVP matters more. Like in Cy Young, you don't have to do that. MVP because then you get into the value. I mean, I think if people really want to break down the case for it, because of the defense that's provided, a true 5-tool player and everything that for Bobby Wood Jr., he's more valuable. I actually truly think you can make that case. The issue you run into is Aaron Judge, the home run numbers, and people just look at that, and the New York market, plain and simple. They're just more accessible, national television and all that, and it's the freaking Yankees. You know, that's the part that sucks about it.
I know we typically, come August or close to the NFL season, we'll make our official predictions for who wins the division, who makes the playoffs. We'll all put together our 14 teams, and we'll look back on it later and decide. I'm going to let it be known that based on Joe Burrow's new haircut, they're not making the playoffs.
All 3 of them are wearing this.
He dyed his hair blonde. Look at this photo. They're not making the post.
Buzz cut Burrow, baby.
No successful quarterback has looked like that.
He looks like he's about to start a new boy band or something, and he's going to be the
lead
singer.
Which is going to piss everybody off even more when he starts winning games and the wrist is hopefully healthy.
Hopefully healthy.
No, T. Higgins, his teammate, they're all going with the buzz cut. Good for them. You know, whatever. Focus on the off the field stuff. That's great. Anybody going to talk about distractions with Cincinnati the same way they tried to do with Kansas City?
It's a haircut.
Distractions. So many distractions. You know, focus on football, not the haircuts. That's what Stephen A. would be saying, and Skip Bayless would be saying if it was a Chiefs player doing this. They'd say, he needs to stop worrying about the looks and focus on football.
Caring about how they're not got their matching haircut.
If it was the Chiefs, that's what they'd be saying.
Joe put an Instagram post out.
They say that about like Travis's mustache or something.
El Travador.
Joe posted something on Instagram the other day. All right, summertime's over. Let's get to playing some football. He's juiced up, baby.
He looks like he would bully you in a soccer match when you were 13 years old. Gold, this was definitively your soccer bully when you were 13 years old, was it not? Was this not the kid that was just kind of an ass on the soccer pitch when you were 13? That's the kid. I mean, look at that. For the people on the video stream.
He just needs to put on the same earrings that Drew's wearing, and then he'll be set. He'll be completely set.
Let's go.
He'll be set for you. Text line says Burrow MVP is where they're putting their money.
I cannot wait.
You want to put comeback player of the year money on Joe Burrow? I love that bet. I love that bet. Joe Burrow comeback player of the year. I think that's a really strong bet. MVP. I think Josh Allen's actually better position.
He will lead the league in touchdown passes this year. Hot take.
But what does that actually mean for their team?
I don't
Who
know.
Who led in passing touchdowns last year?
Dak
Wasn't it
Prescott with 34.
Yeah, they made the postseason. They're a good team. They just blew it in the postseason again.
Sounds about right.
If you look,
Sounds like the Cowboys.
If you looked, by the way, at the,
what a low number.
If you looked at the top touchdown passers from last year, the top 5 is very. You would not have guessed it. I think Jordan Love's in there. Tua's in there. Brock Purdy, I think, was up there.
Well, at least one of those teams made the Super Bowl.
Another good text. Somebody said, "Bro, looks like 2000s Eminem."
Yeah, that's definitely the vibe he's going for. Houdini came out and he couldn't help himself anymore. He's like, new Eminem album? I'm back. Just dyed his hair blonde and shaved it down.
Good for him, whatever works.
Hey, he's feeling loose.
I'm glad that he feels. There was an interview. I don't remember where it was. I don't think it was with Kay Adams or anything like that. It was on a podcast. He feels more open about being himself. He's not
Get a couple years
hiding
in the league,
it necessarily.
Nice.
He's going to the
He's had
fashion show in
He's
Paris.
had a lot of time to think because he didn't play football last year.
Well, you know what? That might change this year, right?
A lot of time to sit back and think about the situation.
You're just trying to dig in there a little bit. Well, if his risk is, I want him to be healthy. You know what? The Bengals this year don't even have to win the Super Bowl. I want him to just be healthy so we can stop this whole. Well, he's got to be healthy first.
Well,
that's annoying.
It's a fair conversation.
I know it is.
Finishes the season healthy.
I know. It's annoying when you're talking about the health of your quarterback all the time. It's annoying.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is. All right, up next, we're expected to hear from Andy Reid in the next hour. Perhaps this half hour, we'll get you out to St. Joe if that is the case. Plus, one player on the Royals that's in a certain spot that tells us exactly what they need to do in the next week. We'll explain that next.
Hey, it's Brady Singer. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
At Jackson County Parks Plus Rec, there are countless ways to make your day.
Ooh, that's a great shot.
Take the Fred Arbanis Golf Course with 18 holes of championship-level golf and panoramic views of Longview Lake. It's no wonder GolfLink has named it the #1 public golf course in Missouri.
Way to sink it.
Nice birdie. The Fred Arbanis Golf Course at Jackson County Parks Plus Rec. Resort feel, affordable play. Learn more at makeyourdayhere.com.
What does it mean to be the official information technology provider for the Chiefs? It means everything. Technology Group Solutions makes sure everything runs flawlessly for the millions of fans that attend games and the hundreds of millions of fans that comprise Chiefs Kingdom around the world. Technology Group Solutions can deploy that same dedication, problem solving, and incredible service to ensure your business runs smoothly. Technology Group Solutions, powering Chiefs Kingdom, and ready to do the same for you.
Intimacy. Those special moments when we're together and deeply connected to the one we love. Truly, there are few times in life as wonderful as these. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and it's the restoration of intimacy that makes me most proud of the work we do in treating erectile dysfunction for our patients. ED is an intimacy destroyer. Research shows that men can draw apart from their partners when ED affects their sex life. The condition causes stress, anxiety, and depression. Even worse, a man's partner can even blame themselves when ED becomes a problem. For us at Heartland Men's Health, this is unacceptable because ED is simply a medical condition like any other, and we have many treatment options and treatment combinations that can stop ED in its tracks. In fact, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. So call us and get back those intimate moments. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and now North Kansas City.
It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here, and let me tell you about my friends over at Window World. 816-799-0820. It is hot in the Kansas City metro. We are in the middle of the summer, and what I want to do is I want to help your home be more energy efficient and keeping the hot air out. In just over 20 years of business, Window World has improved the look and thermal efficiency of over 54,000 homes right here in Kansas City, and right now they're offering an incredible deal. They're giving you 36 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 36 months same as cash financing with approved credit. What I love most is, aside from major holidays, they have somebody there answering your questions 7 days a week. So if you got a question right now, pick up the phone and call my friends over at Window World, get a free home estimate, and they can show you how they are simply the best for less. They're the official window managed by the Kansas City Chiefs, And they have had the same team in place for 20 years, and that team wants to help you. 816-799-0820, Window World.
Introducing Lumi for Men, and we named him Mando. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman's brother, the inventor of Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, packages, and feet. Because we all know our pits aren't the only places we get odor. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is different from anything you've tried before. It stops odor before it starts, powered by our acidified technology. Mando controls odor anywhere you have it. Her patented whole body deodorant formula has over 200,000 five-star reviews. And because Mando has a 60-day stink-free guarantee, you can try Mando risk-free. Give Mando whole body deodorant a try today and smell like the stink-free man you were intended to be.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 555 and get an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 555. Go to shopmando.com, code 555, for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 555.
We're hiring residential garage door installers at Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. Join the team trusted here since 1927. Apply today, get a call today. No experience necessary. Paid training for motivated applicants to install garage doors. Hiring bonus up to $2,500. Mechanical, carpentry, or service industry experience is a plus. Good benefits include health, dental, vision, and pension. Earn as you learn to service the best garage door customers in KC. Apply today at overheaddoorkc.com.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good, whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain. If you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Kansas City, this is Royals manager Matt Quattrero. Catch Vern's On Deck show 1 hour before first pitch on your home for Royals baseball, 610 Sports Radio and the Odyssey app.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, and Odyssey Sports Station.
How long till our producer Drew comes to work with bleached hair now that Joe Burrow looks like Slim Shady and the wrestler Cody Rhodes with his bleached buzz cut hair?
Yeah.
Drew's fired up. You got to bleach the hair now. Just go all in with your guy Joey Burrow.
Do I need to now?
We're expecting to hear from Andy Reid in the next couple of minutes. We'll go right out to St. Joe post-practice today in just a few minutes as soon as he's available.
That's one of those songs I still think I know all the words to. But you can't sing any Eminem on the air. It's too risky.
Correct.
Too risky. I also told Gold in the break, which I think is accurate. I saw the photo of Joe Burrow after he'd buzzed it, before he had bleached it blonde.
Yes.
He made the right call in bleaching it blonde, and here's why. The original buzz cut, and just that hairstyle in general, makes it look like he's about to say something racist otherwise. Got to go blonde. That way you don't... It just looks that
Dustin
way,
said
Drew.
It looks like he's one of those guys that leads the chants at Texas A&M.
Yell leader.
Yeah, yell leader.
A yell leader at A&M? Ugh. Well,
I'm glad he got it blonde too. Yeah.
So Joe Burrow's got a new haircut. Go check it out. It is something. I still keep waiting for the day Mahomes told us he can't have his haircut.
I think once he turns 30.
You think he turns 30 and he
Yeah.
goes short again?
Yeah, 30. He'll have 3 kids here soon, and then I think he can't have.
He did say he's done after 3, or maybe that's the way he said.
That's what he says.
Well, you can medically
I
help
understand.
yourself
I understand.
out of that department.
I understand.
The real question, for this show is, will Patrick Mahomes, would he be worse at quarterback with a vasectomy? I mean, something that this show, at some point, has to be discussed, Then what? I'm just
that one won't make the official injury report. I don't think
that would be hilarious.
Non-football injury
A non-football
report.
illness.
Pat couldn't make it to practice today.
If he has a non-football illness like 2 weeks from now, I'm officially just saying it was that.
Oh my god. I feel like he would wait. I feel like it's too late now. I think he would wait till after the season. It would be.
He waits after the baby's born.
Does he keep this all year, or they struggle? They're 0-3 out of the gate. It's a typical September for Cincinnati, and then he says, screw it. And
If they're 0-3 September, they're not making the playoffs
so
because
he'll change the hairstyle
because they play Carolina, New England, Washington in the first 4 games.
And Kansas City.
Well, yes, of course, but I mean they could lose that game. They shouldn't lose the other 3.
Bryce Young gonna beat up on Joe Burrow.
If they're 0-3,
for a team that's gotten off to some bad starts, they have no excuse this year to get off to a bad start.
Yes,
that's for sure.
If they're 0-3, I might take a sick day because I don't know if I'll be able to handle it.
Probably wise.
If they're 0-3,
Are we can change the bet. We've got a week 2 bet.
Oh no, I'm still on for the McDonald's and all of that. That's fine.
McDonald's challenge. We gotta work out some details.
Should we change it to you have to buzz your hair and dye it bleach blonde?
I mean,
God, I'd look so stupid.
Any of us would. What are you talking about? I mean, actually, we should. You want to change the stakes, Drew? You want to change the stakes?
You gotta get a buzz cut and bleach it.
Problem is for
I'm
Drew,
wearing so
though,
many hats.
I don't want to. I almost don't.
Drew's hair is already really short.
Pretty sure.
I'll bleach this the way that it is right now.
Wait, you
just go and bleach it?
If
support your guy Joe.
If you want, if they
please do.
With no bet required.
Please
no.
Oh, okay.
My wife.
The bet is going to be.
My wife does want me to get like highlights. Like this actually is a thing. She wants me to get
You really
highlights.
want to lean into looking like the 19-year-old kid still. You're gonna have frosted tips.
Are frosted tips back?
I don't know.
Some other things are back. Maybe those came back. Those were definitely popular when I was in high school.
Yeah.
That was for sure a thing.
Someone says with both. Someone on Twitter, Bob on Twitter says with both his earrings. Stop it, Drew. That's true. Yeah, both the earrings, man. You got to go bleach blonde hair, both earrings, wear the same shirt.
Should I get
he's
black
wearing.
studded earrings instead? Should I have the black studded earrings instead of the silver?
Mm-hmm.
No, maybe. I mean, certainly open to possibility. We're going to hear from Andy Reid coming up in just a couple of minutes. But somebody...
Oh, and he's actually ready right now. So let's go up to St. Joe, hear from Big Red after practice.
As far as injuries go, Xavier Worthy is ill. He's getting better, but not ready to practice yet. And then you probably saw BJ out here today, which was great to see him standing around and watching. But again, he's not ready to go, but it's good to see him upright, right? So that's a positive thing. Other than that, it was great work. Heated up, a little bit longer practice. We had these. Herbie, how you doing, babe? Oh, good. Things ramp up. We're in this ramp up period, so we had an hour 55 today. We'll have an hour 55 tomorrow, and then the guys get a day off, and then they'll come back. Then they're in pads after that. So, and then we'll do another ramp up in the pads. So, but all in all, good day today. Both sides challenging each other, which means you're going to have improvement, right? So that was a positive. All right, time's yours.
Andy, one of the few changes we saw today was having Lucas Niang be a left guard. I just wonder what led to that decision, and what would you like to see just from that position right now as Joe recovers?
Yeah, so Andy heck does it. I mean, he mixes everybody in, and we did a little bit of that in the OTAs. And we asked the guys, listen, we're just going to play the 5 best. Doesn't really matter what position, so we're going to give you a chance at all of them. This is a good time to do that during this ramp-up period. So when they're not in pads, just get them familiar with those areas. Yeah.
It seems like Pat's always liked to go downfield up here, but it seems like this year maybe a little more often. What's your advice been to him in that regard, other than go ahead and do it?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to throw to the guy that's open. We're calling kind of the same plays, Adam, but he's got guys that that's a part of their game. The best part of their game is going downfield. So he's utilizing that right now and testing it out and seeing how it works. And so far he's had some good connections there.
I know you'll have more information once pads come on, but so far, Wanye Morris, just how's he looked?
Yeah, he's doing a nice job. Yeah. Everything is kind of pass. You're not doing a ton of run in here. So, but for what we're asking him to do, he's doing a nice job.
Obviously, along those lines, Coach, you do have some competition at the left tackle position. Realistically, is there a timeline you would like to see that position settled? Because I think, like, when you think about it, this is like one of those first years where you are transitioning from Fisher to Brown to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see how it goes. I mean, you obviously want to get the guys reps in there and all that, but you also want to make sure you get the best guy in there. And so you give them a chance to play with one another and as far as the guards and the tackles go, and see what the best match is there and how they fit together.
Is it safe to say that competition, though, tends to ramp up once the pads come on Friday?
Yeah, a lot of things ramp up there, Herbie. But yeah, that's one of them. Yep. Once you mix the pass and the run in, that's what you've got to get going here. And we don't, the run is all curved down to where it's almost just fits. So it's not quite the same.
Coach, Darius has been working with running backs and both receivers. Is plan for him to kind of be that dual threat?
Yeah, I think that's one of his strengths, is just be able to move him around. And he had some positive snaps for us at running back last year. And so I think he enjoys doing that. He's pretty multifaceted there with what he can do, and we're going to try to utilize it to the best of his abilities there. Yeah.
Hey, Andy, the league and the Players Association talking about an 18-game schedule. It looks like it's only a matter of time. What are your thoughts on an 18-game schedule?
Yeah, whatever they decide to do, they do. I don't have much of a say on it, Adam. So if it goes 18 games, it's going. I know this year it's not going 18 games. So we're going to try to focus in on these 17 that we got and try to do the best we can.
And Juwan Taylor's going to come in here. He got off the rough start with the penalties last year, and I wonder how much you think that affected the rest of the season. And he's coming in a fresh start this year. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, he's working hard. I think he settled down that last quarter of the season there. As far as the penalties go, you started out like he did with the first game, and he got away with a couple things as far as being deep, and then he got nailed for it after that. So that's how that goes. I think he learned a good lesson last year, and it looked like he finished strong. So that was a positive, and he picking up in a good spot with the OTAs and these practices we've had up here. Yeah.
Coach, Isaiah Pacheco, it looks like he's been just maybe getting a handful of reps early on. What's kind of the plan there for him?
Yeah, we always try to rotate guys in there, and that's what we're doing. So it's really nothing different. We're not doing anything different there. Just try to rotate them in, make sure they get their legs under them in these 4 days, and then get them going here. So.
We'll go last three, Pete, Steven, and then Jesse. You had a quick follow-up, not specific to Isaiah, but overall. How much is the metrics that you get now as far as the sensors on the players and the data, as far as managing them day to day and backing them off when maybe their levels are not where like Mike Frazier says that they should be?
Yeah, so that's important. We try to keep a close eye on the guys as coaches. We try to keep a close eye, trainers. Plus, you have the data that Frazier keeps track of, and between all of that, we want to make sure that we ramp them up and that we don't have the pulls. First 3 days here, that's when they're really fragile that way, those hamstrings. So we try to make sure that we mix everybody in. We've got numbers, use the numbers, and try to stay away from those pulls.
Coach, the last time us and all the fans got to see Eric Prince was last year. Year over year, behind the scenes, how have you seen him grow to maybe get some more opportunities?
Prince, you're saying?
Eric Prince.
Yeah, he's been working hard. So he's worked hard this offseason. He's a great kid, and he's getting reps now. So we'll see how that goes and how he does once we get the pads on.
We saw Reese Zamet and Rami Heelbeck returning kicks, and Reese Zamet is actually kicking. their path to make the team is a lot has to do with special teams. So what have you seen from those two guys in their effort to make this team?
Yeah, so we always tell the guys that there are 3 or 4 guys that make it because of their special teams play. And those two would probably fit into that category. They still got to do well at their position, but they're given opportunities right now to do that. Now we've got a lot of returners, so they're rotating in there. But for them, you probably say for them to make the team, they've got to be able to help out in that area. Yeah, he does okay with that. Yeah, he's kicked a few balls before, so he's got a little feel for it, and so it's not something new to him to have to do. Yeah. All right, good. Thank you.
All right, so that was Andy Reid. We're expected to hear from Juwan Taylor in just a little bit as well. Again, beginning, he confirmed the injury status for Xavier Worthy, who's out sick from practice today. I think the part, though, about Mahomes beginning and taking some more shots down the field, that is going to continue to be a theme throughout training camp. The ability now with Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy and having that in your repertoire again, it looks like, throughout camp and throughout hopefully the regular season.
And you heard him talk a little bit about, Tony and the usage. And I mean, there's a lot of different stuff because he wasn't trying to give anything away. He's like, Wanya's done a good job based on what we've seen. And Juwan played better the second quarter. And we liked some of those running back snaps from Tony last year, and we like seeing them again.
And they said they think he likes it too. Like,
I think you're probably right in the sense that he might be one of those players that has to be doing something in order to stay interested in the football game.
I wonder if that's the case. All right, let's go back out there. Juwan Taylor, we know he had a rough start of the year last year, got better towards the end. Here's Juwan Taylor.
May have prepared you to maybe be better this time compared to what you went through last year.
Just showing up in even better shape than I did last year. I came in pretty good shape last year, but this year I feel like I came in even better shape. So it's definitely a lot on your body, but you got to be prepared for whatever he throws at you every day.
You think you did to improve to be ready for this?
I've been mainly working on bettering myself with penalties and stuff like that, making sure I'm up on the ball and different things like that. But other than that, just doing my part, helping the team win games.
You got kind of singled out last year. It looks like you are taking a different approach. How much of that was the offseason? Was just kind of rethinking and rebuilding your technique?
Really just honing in on my technique, getting better with that, and then just making sure I'm in the playbook more. Now it's my second year going into that. I'm pretty comfortable with it, and just getting better with that overall.
How frustrating? Well, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, do you still plan on using the cadence for your jump, or are you changing that approach this year?
Not really. I've been changing it up. If you see me in practices lately, I haven't really been jumping. I've just been going on the time with Pat's cadence. So just making sure I'm doing it.
I just want to know how frustrating it was for you to get through those early weeks last year. And did you feel singled out?
I wasn't really frustrated. At the end of the day, I'm there to play football and do my job and just try to help the team win. So I wasn't really frustrated about it. Just had to keep doing my thing and just try to get better every week.
You've cemented on the right side, but you've got a good battle on the left side between Sil Mataia and Wanya Morris. What are you seeing from those guys, and how do you help, especially a guy like Sil Mataia, get acclimated in his first camp?
Those are both great guys. They're coming to work every day, and they're definitely embracing the competition. I feel like they're both going to be great players for us. So, and helping Kingsley, man, he's a great listener, and he's definitely willing to soak in anything that we give him, any coaching points. So I think he's doing well, and he's definitely meshing well in the offense.
Juwan, when you were a young player in Jacksonville, did you have a guy kind of serve as a mentor for you, like you're maybe trying to do with those guys?
Absolutely. Brandon Linder was my center at the time. Cam Robinson was my left tackle. A.J. Cam was my right guard. All those guys were year 6+ when I came in the league. So I was just soaking in everything I could soak in from the time I came in OTAs, and they definitely helped me, better myself from college coming into a pro.
What kind of advice those guys give you?
Man, it was everything. Really, how to take care of my body. That was the main thing I was asking them. Other than that, technique, I was asking Cam a lot since he was a tackle. He's been there and he's done that. So anything, man. I was asking all type of questions at the time, just being a sponge.
The league and the Players Association were talking about expanding the season to 18 games. It looks like it's only a matter of time. Do you have thoughts one way or the other about an 18 games?
Hey, man, I love the game. So if they had another game, it is what it is. We got to go out there and get a win.
Last season was the longest of your career going to the Super Bowl. Is there anything different that you did with your body in the offseason?
Really, man, just cardio, man. I make sure I do a lot of cardio in the off season because lifting I do a lot of that too. But mainly just make sure I'm in shape, being able to go those long games and play a lot of plays because we throw the ball a lot here. So making sure you're in shape is always good.
Well, looking back at the decision to just come to Kansas City, how happy have you been with the way that it's worked out, even despite some of the struggles last year?
One of the best decisions I made in my life, honestly. Moving. I've lived in Florida my whole life, so moving to a different state, that was different. It was an adjustment, but I'm glad I made the decision and stepped outside my comfort zone, and we're here now.
As offensive linemen, you guys are doing the drills, but not really in it right now. You guys really look forward to getting the pads on so you can kind of, I guess, show a little bit more.
Absolutely. We definitely take a lot of pride in our work and our craft every day. I feel like Coach Heck's doing a great job with us in the meeting room and out here on the field, better in our technique. But we're definitely ready to get the pads on and get it going.
You mentioned cardio, so what are some of the things you did to try to improve your cardio in the offseason?
A lot of running, a lot of technique stuff, just doing a lot of, just 2-minute situations, a lot of scenarios like that, running plays on my own on air. Different things like that really just helped me, but mainly running, man, a lot of running.
What kind of cardio, Cody? I need to know exactly the specifics.
I get on the bike.
Yeah, that's specific cardio you do.
I get on the bike. A little different. Everybody does different types of cardio.
Right.
He could have said jumping jacks. Wouldn't that have been a surprising answer?
It would have been.
Turns out my cardio, he does jump rope. He does double Dutch. That's how he gets all of his cardio.
No, in all seriousness, though, Juwan Taylor, we all know the first 8 weeks of the season. That was rough. And I know he was asked if he thought he had a spotlight on him, and he kind of downplayed it. But he did. I mean,
of course he
did. The league, I still blame that Chris Collinsworth comment on the Sunday Night Football or the Thursday Night Football broadcast.
They wouldn't stop talking about it.
It was game over at that point in time for Juwan Taylor. And now you had a whole offseason to work on it. And I think you will see a much better performance from Juwan Taylor. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll hear from Isaiah Pacheco and the Chiefs running back who, as Andy acknowledged when he spoke, they don't run the ball a whole lot during camp. I mean, it's a passing thing. There's not a whole lot of running.
We'll figure out how to run it. Kyle Shanahan probably does the opposite.
Who knows? I mean, but I think Isaiah Pacheco, based off of some of the offseason videos, and it's always tough, but looks like he's trimmed down a little bit. Maybe that's a good thing for him. Can he make it through a full season? The way he plays, it's awfully difficult to not have 1 or 2 games maybe. But he's been sensational for this team, and I think this is the last year where you can fully go into a season and feel like you can get max production out of Pacheco.
Yeah.
Then you have to start having more concern about the backup options heading into this year. Otherwise, I'm fine with Clyde being the number 2 back. But we'll talk more about this in 10 minutes.
Trash of the day.
All right, this one takes us to, I believe it's Florida. Yes, of course it's Florida. And it has to do with a burglar. And let's see, what town? Destin. Beautiful Destin, Florida. Honestly, one of my favorite places.
Never been.
Only been once, but man, I got to get back. Destin, Florida, just gorgeous. Anyway, somebody broke into a woman's house, 27-year-old man, and he got caught taking a shower in the master bedroom.
Okay.
So he breaks in. He was dirty.
Took a shower?
Took a shower.
Was he doing other crime, or he broke in just to take the shower?
He was just in. He's a burglar, but he took a shower. The woman noticed him. She locked herself in a separate bedroom, I think it said, and she locked herself in the bathroom to call deputies. So she was in a separate bathroom. He was in the shower.
This photo of him being led away and a towel around his waist.
Yeah.
He couldn't let him put his regular clothes back on?
He's charged with burglary to an occupied dwelling and criminal mischief. Happened at 5:30 in the morning, man. How freaky is that, though? 5:30 in the morning, and you all of a sudden realize there's anybody.
Somebody in the shower?
Let alone being like, I don't know if she lives alone or whatever. Imagine that, and there's some man in your shower. Unfortunately, nothing, ultimately bad happened or anything like that, but she was smart enough to go to a different bathroom and lock herself in.
I think you'd have to
there.
move. At that point.
Oh, you think you got to move out of the house? No, I don't have to move out of the house. I mean, I'm definitely making sure I got more security cameras and locks and whatever else. Finding out how the hell did this guy get in my house?
Maybe just climb through a window. We don't know, but you're right. Maybe like a quick alarm system. The idea, the boldness of I'm going to break into someone's house to take a shower.
Take a shower.
You better make sure no one's home. Showers, my kids are still asleep in the morning. That first initial shower turn on is always risky. You're like, wake up the whole house. Like, it's not that, but it's loud enough. It's loud enough to wake somebody up, right? Depending on the time of day. 5:30 in the morning is too close to morning time. 2 a.m., maybe don't wake them up. Maybe just went to bed. Midnight? Maybe they don't wake
Wait,
up.
so
Maybe,
now you're
maybe
encouraging.
Maybe they're in REM sleep.
Are you encouraging now?
I'm just talking about how to get away with the crime, not how
You're
to.
saying that he should have broke in and taken a shower at 2 in the morning instead of 5:30 in the morning.
So there's a lot of time to not. I mean, just don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, I think 5:30 in the morning is too risky.
The article, the last sentence. I figured you'll enjoy this. He's been charged with burglary and criminal mischief. So for once, the bad guy didn't get away clean.
Dun,
But didn't he? He did.
He was clean.
He was clean. He
doesn't need a shower right when he gets to prison. He's okay now. Like, you
What
know.
an idiot, honestly.
I mean, it's not.
Honestly,
Honestly, what a useless crime.
He's 27.
Just go to one of those like gas stations at the truck stops that have like a shower in it. What are you doing?
Oh, like Pilot J or Flying J
find a way
or
to
whatever.
sneak it. Like, you'd be better trying to like sneak past security at a Planet Fitness to get to the shower. You know, like you don't need to break into someone's house. There's other places
Probably a
to try
nice
to find
shower.
one.
Yeah, probably a nice
Think it's
shower.
like a walk-in.
I'm sure. Nice master bedroom. I'm sure it's a nice shower. Walk-in shower, nice. Just taking your time.
Rainfall shower.
Oh,
It was like a really tempting one.
The bigger shower. You got the 2 shower heads, one on each
Yeah.
side.
there you go.
I'll never live that life. Maybe one day, man.
Gotta have the 2 shower heads. That's the trash of the day. Up next, we're going to hear from Isaiah Pacheco. Then we'll get back into how Andy Reid is perhaps needing to prepare for a longer absence from a certain Chiefs player next.
Cody and Gold.
If the Royals win the World Series, I will get, and you can mark it if you want, but I'll get
everybody
this
knows you said
tattooed
it.
on my body.
Who gives? We're winning games.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
We're talking with Dr. David Bach, board-certified urologist at Kansas City Urology Care. What's the most important thing men should know about prostate cancer?
I would strongly recommend PSA testing. It's a simple blood test. It's inexpensive, and basically every male over 50 should be having this PSA once a year. Prostate cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men.
And why should they go to KCUC?
We not only treat more prostate cancer than anyone else in this part of the country, we also start with cutting-edge diagnostics to offer the most precise diagnoses of prostate cancer using ultrasounds and MRI. We can offer surgical, medical, and radiation types of treatments. And even for men who require additional therapies, we're able to offer all that at a single site.
Get your PSA level tested by the experts. Kansas City Urology Care. At KCUC, you see the best in KC. To make an appointment, visit appointments.kcuc.com.
It's only one weekend a year. This weekend, the national gun show that attracts sellers, buyers, and browsers from coast to coast and border to border. It's the 52nd annual National Summer Arms Show. Come buy, sell, and trade at hundreds of sales tables and displays featuring vintage rifles and handguns, ammo, brass, reloading items, and blades from everyday use to high-end collectibles. See modern arms, historic collections, and hundreds of military collectibles, some dating back to the Civil War. Join Marlin Firearms collectors celebrating their 50th anniversary. The Colt collectors and high standard collectors will be there too. It's the Midwest's highest caliber event. It's the 52nd annual National Summer Arms Show, sponsored by the Missouri Valley Arms Collectors Association. Saturday and Sunday, July 29th and 30th at the KCI Expo Center. Just $12 or get a 2-day pass for $20. Kids 15 and under are free with an adult. Visit us online for show hours at nationalsummerarmshow.com.
This past weekend, my wife and I did a charcuterie board all from Hy-Vee. We saved a ton of money shopping the aisles, getting all the great meats and cheeses. And I'll save even more this Thursday during the 12-hour buy one, get one free sale. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., I'm stocking up on all of my favorites, like buy one, get one free Lay's potato chips and Bluebell ice cream. Buy 8, get 8 free boneless pork chops, and buy 4 ground beef patties and get 4 special recipe bratwurst free, and lots more. It's BOGO Day this Thursday, only at Hy-Vee.
Tax-free weekend is twice as nice this year with help from Hy-Vee. This weekend, earn double fuel savings when you purchase retail gift cards. Gear up for back to school with gift cards to Best Buy, Kohl's, TJ Maxx, and more. Earn 2 times the everyday fuel discount with every gift card purchased. The more you spend, the more you save. Use those gift cards to shop during Missouri's tax-free weekend and enjoy double the discount with your next fill-up. Save on gas while you save on tax. July 26th to 28th, only at Hy-Vee. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
If you had the crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You'd just ask, should I sell while my home's value is sky high, or wait and hope the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you like. When you sell your home to TrueHold for its best current value, you can fully cash out your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance too. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get an offer now while your home's value is sky high, and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's current best value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Look at your cup holder. It's empty, and you're feeling thirsty. Head to a nearby convenience store and fill it with a Pepsi Zero Sugar, Mountain Dew, or Starry. Grab a delicious, refreshing Pepsi for the road.
Hi, Discover. It's Jennifer Coolidge, and your cashback match has inspired me.
Great. We love doubling the cashback you earn at the end of your first year.
I'm doubling everything now. I'm double dating. I'm double dipping.
Discover cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Chiefs Kingdom. This is Mitch Holtis, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour on Cody and Gold. Every day at 11:30 on your official broadcast partner, the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
Coming up in 1 hour, Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated going to join us. We'll get a national perspective on how camp is going for the Chiefs, and we'll also talk about the rest of the AFC. He had a column on the Chiefs and on the Bengals, as well as the rest of the AFC predictions. So we'll have Matt on the show in just a little bit. The text line full of text, as always, but specifically 913-586-7610, reacting to the trash of the day real quick. Yeah. Let me see. Are you noticing a trend with this?
Said, I love when Cody hears a crime, he immediately says, you did it wrong. Thank you for listening to this episode of Crime Tips by Cody. Is he a budding criminal consultant, like a think tank for aspiring thieves?
It is true. Whenever we have a trash today that involves dumb criminals, well, they are. Whenever it involves dumb criminals, you seem to give them pointers. You know, like the bank robbery pointers you gave as a former bank teller, which I don't think the banks appreciate that. And then this one about the dude breaking in the house, and you said, "Oh, don't break in at 5:30 in the morning. Break in at 2 a.m." Thank you for the advice.
I'm just,
my goodness,
I'm a helpful person. You know?
Yeah, very, very helpful.
I'm a helpful person. Bad news, by the way, in the last hour. I've been informed my son has received his first bee sting. It's over. He made it 6 full years into his life.
No.
I have been told he has been stung by a bee, coming inside, too. He was on his way in and unfortunately was stung by a bee. Look, it's a time-honored tradition.
We've talked about.
I get stung once a year, dude, all the time.
How are you guys getting stung once a year?
Yesterday, this is his first ever sting, and my daughter's never been stung. They've had a hell of a run.
Yesterday, we were out with the Wasp or whatever, right up by our broadcast location at camp, and
I told you I get stung once a year. When's the last time you were stung?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I've been bit by a mosquito or something, but like stung by a bee or wasp.
That's different.
I've never been stung by a bee or wasp in my life.
I think I was stung by a wasp one time when I was younger. But
This is Drew's generation. He just sitting inside, didn't play outside.
Playing college football 25.
Yeah, didn't play outside as a kid, didn't get on his bike, didn't live life.
I think what it was is Drew. Didn't you say you more of a skater guy? So I feel like you were wearing jeans and long sleeve shirts all the time.
Absolutely not. I was wearing wife beaters and shorts, dude. That's what I was wearing. I was getting scraped up from riding my bike. Bikes were our thing. We did bike races all the time.
Okay.
I just never got.
Was he all right? Your son?
Yeah, he's okay. He'll survive.
Good.
He didn't. Well, in fairness, the first time someone gets stung, you don't know if they've
allergic
have an
reaction.
allergy.
Yeah, sure.
Seems like
his
fine.
face isn't.
No, he got stung in the back of his leg. He didn't even see it coming. Sneak attack.
Someone says Drew's childhood: no fireworks, no bee stings.
Like I'm questioning if you had a childhood. Too protected. Well, wait. On a scale of 1 to 10, how protective are your parents? Mine were a 0, -1,000, whatever.
they were protective, but we would, like, for instance, we would go outside after, like, say school was done. We'd go outside at like 3:00, and we wouldn't be in. We would come inside for dinner, go back outside, and my parents just let us do our own thing. Like, it wasn't
okay. What were the rules for when you had to be back? Street lights on. What was the
street lights on? Normally, yes. That was the.
That's I think that's standard childhood.
But what was clutch for us was we lived in a cul-de-sac and there were 2 street lights on our corner where we could be outside playing football still when it was dark outside because the light was so strong. You could still play outside
too. What the hell? Everyone living in a
cul-de-sac. It was great. It made it much easier to play outside.
And everybody wanted to come and play basketball on the end of the cul-de-sac where we were, so we didn't have to go anywhere. And my parents, we'd be up till 10.
You have to deal with cars. You have to deal with cars driving through much when you're playing basketball in the.
We'd be up late
cul-de-sac.
playing outside.
Yeah. Anyway,
how protective were your parents? 0 out of 10.
It's normal.
I would say my parents are a 6.5.
Okay.
I would say protective, but not overbearing.
Cared about your safety a little.
Of course, yes.
It's just like normal stuff.
Yeah.
Normal stuff. All right, let's talk some Chiefs football again. Isaiah Pacheco did just speak with the media. You heard Andy a few minutes ago just allude to how much work the running backs are getting, and we know Kadarius Toney's working with the running backs as well. Here's what Pacheco had to say heading into what is now already his 3rd year in the NFL.
Oh, it's been great. The transition has been fantastic for him. Just being that player that is a leadership in the room, and just for me to allow him to keep coming out here and putting that in his ear, just keep working hard, keep finishing is the main thing.
How do you feel physically compared to the beginning of the last couple of camps you've gone through?
I feel great. Being prepared, proper preparation prevents poor performance, so just being prepared.
They talked the other day about you and taking over kind of some of the role of the guy who really gets people fired up now. Is that something that you're consciously doing, or is that just kind of part of who you are?
I'm just me as a person. Every day I come in here unsatisfied. It's getting 1% better every day, and knowing that I have to find that edge, and for me to pick something to get to it each and every day to get better at, I'm going to do it.
How have you seen Deneric Prince work behind the scenes to come into camp even better than maybe last year?
Yes, I'm pretty sure y'all be on the media watching people's stories, so y'all know how guys work in the off season, getting prepared for moments like this. So it all comes and it feels natural.
Have you set any personal goals for yourself this year?
Yes, I'll keep them in my notebook and just keep waiting for those moments and just being prepared.
You do that before every season?
Yes, sir.
And last year did you hit your goals?
Yes, besides one of them.
Isaiah, when you were a rookie, you wanted a lot of reps, and you got a lot of reps. Now you're
established the starter, you're not getting as much reps. Is there anything you have to do, I guess, differently when you have so many reps you're trying to understand the playbook versus being the veteran, being the guy that, is not going to get as much work now compared to obviously what your workload's going to be in the regular season?
I wouldn't say that necessarily not getting as much work. If I'm not in, I'm on the sideline, repetitioning, just getting that extra rep in. Whatever you do on the sideline, it counts. Just being a guy, just being unsatisfied. This is my mindset. Just coming into this thing to this 2020, 4 or 5 camp, being unsatisfied and knowing there's a goal we have to reach. It
looks like you've come in a lot more lean than last previous years. What were some of the things you did in the offseason? Was your diet, was working out? What was it?
I say I stretched a lot and did a lot of on-field work, worked with a wide receiver coach, get more flexible, more fluent, and just being able to compete out here.
Darius has been over with you guys at the running back for a little while. Just what have you seen from him?
As being a player that can do anything, whatever coach allows us to do, we're going to be those type of players, and that's what it's all about, being on the field and being able to do whatever coach wants you to do.
How much of the thought process of getting with a wide receiver coach was just kind of proving to Andy and that crew that you want him to be more involved in the passing game than previously?
For me, I let the coaches coach. I'm gonna do the plan. I'm allowed them to do their job and do my job, and whatever assignment I have, I'm gonna do it at my best.
I know you started out camp in the yellow jersey. You got the pads coming out Friday. How much different does this camp already feel than last year? How much are you looking forward to actually having a little contact in camp this year?
I'm excited. The last time I got hit was Super Bowl, and wasn't to the best, but hey, let's do it. I'm ready, excited, and unsatisfied.
I know it's early, but just what do you think is going to be most exciting for you about the way the whole offense works together, everybody on the field?
It's the culture. It's what we bring to the table. It's the formula.
How much are you motivated by chasing the three-peat and making history? Because that's something that has never been done before in the Super Bowl era.
Yes, during my career, never really been satisfied throughout my situations, but now we're looking to the future and being able to compete day by day and just taking it day by day, not looking to what's going on next month. I'm looking forward to what's going on tomorrow, what's in the install today, so we can get the job done.
Isaiah, the NFL and the Players Association talking about expanding the season to 18 games. It seems like it's only a matter of time. Do you have thoughts one way or the other about an 18-game season?
Bring it on. Whatever y'all got, we're going to play anytime, anywhere, anytime.
Isaiah Pacheco talking to the media. A couple things there.
He misses being hit, for sure.
He misses being hit, and it's a fair point. Last year during camp when we were up there, he was in the yellow jersey the entire time. He was coming off the torn labrum, I think it was. And so that was an issue going into the season, or at least a thought going into the season. How much would he be used early? He's trimmer. He's healthier right now. That's a good sign to start the season for him. And maybe is he more involved in the passing game? That stood out, I'm sure, to you as well. Last year, 44 catches on 49 targets, 244 yards. He said he was working with a wide receiver coach this offseason. Maybe he's going to be more flexible and all that. Could he be more involved in the passing game? I think that might be the case.
I mean, they could use that. Again, this is the same thing we just talked about with how they're using Kadarius Toney. They could use some more passes out of there because, again, as much as I think the deep ball is going to come back in this offense in some way, I don't think you can just pencil it in for it's all the way back, problem solved, right? So I think that there still will be teams who take away everything deep or try to, and you're going to need to use the running backs and the tight ends and everybody else down low in order to kind of make the offense function. So yeah, I mean, I do think that matters a little bit.
McKinnon, who's not there anymore, 25 catches, about $192. So who
way less reps, you know?
Yeah. So who picks up? Is it the number 2 back in Clyde? Is it Kadarius Toney as the kind of a hybrid?
Prince?
Is it whoever you think the third back could be, second back? They pick up the slack there. And then Pacheco was talking about his goals for the season, and he was asked, "Did you hit all yours from last year?" He said, "All but one." Nobody followed up to find out what the one was. Looking at the stats, if it's a statistical goal. What, that he wanted the 1,000-yard season? He was 935. I have no idea.
65 yards short, 10 touchdowns. He was one touchdown short.
Yes.
I bet it's 1,000 yards rushing.
Right, don't you think? That's my guess without knowing.
Well, I don't think it was I wanted to average 5 yards a carry and I only averaged 4.6.
I'm guessing it was yardage.
It could have been receiving yardage, though, the way he's talking. He went from 14 catches, or 13 catches the year before, to 44 this year. But the yards per reception, because the offense was way
That's
down.
also, the field wasn't stretched out enough to have some space there.
No, so there was no area to operate. So, if he had caught for the same amount of yards per reception as he did in year one, He'd have been a 500-yard receiver at running back. He wasn't because there was nowhere for the ball to go. This goes back to the whole thing about why they want the deep ball, why they want to threaten you deep, why they want that back into their offense so that you can't just stand at the line of scrimmage. Everything in between. Everybody's job was harder close to the line of scrimmage last year.
I do wonder if Hollywood Brown and Worthy end up being who they think they are this year production-wise and stretching out the defense. Do we see the screen game become more of a factor?
Might be back. It was kind of gone last year.
Is that more effective when they're not able to stay up as much because there's not the threat of going over the top? I wonder. Now, it might take time. I don't know if that's going to happen in week 1, but after a few weeks of showing that Hollywood Brown's a threat or Worthy's a threat deep, makes the job easier perhaps for the screen game.
It should, and that used to be a regular staple of their offense, and yet, we don't know. He did mention one player. He mentioned Louis Rees-Zammit? At least our Louis Rees-Zammit, right? Have we decided the way it's pronounced?
We're going with Louis Rees-Zammit.
That's fine. So he handled kickoffs today, which I don't think is insignificant because the Justin Reed injury, based on everything else, I think Spag said yesterday, and I'm hearing, it's going to be out a while, Gold. I think you and I both agree, no training camp. That's done. That's a wash. I think there's a pretty good chance no preseason. I would put that at like 95%. He's just not going to see him in the preseason, which means can he be ready for, if those are gone, the next available question, Gold, is can he be available for week 1 for this team? And the reason, he matters for a variety of reasons. One, the obvious. He's their starting safety. He's been one of their better players on defense over the last couple of years. He matters significantly to their team. But also because we gave the Chiefs the edge in the kicking game department because they had Justin Reed. I don't think it's LRZ doing the kickoffs. The fact that they have a second person who could possibly do it is kind of ludicrous.
They don't want
How many
Butker,
other teams are capable of that?
They don't want Butker to get hurt on these kickoffs, and they think there's an advantage to having someone that can run down and actually make the tackle. And so that's why Justin Reed was effective. But maybe Louis Rees-Zammit can be that on the kicking and the kickoff return guy. He could actually end up doing both for this team heading in. Justin Reed, go back on July 21st when it became public knowledge that he was on the NFI list. He did tweet out, minor setbacks, breed major comebacks. I'll get myself healthy soon. Can't wait to get back out on the field. I don't think he's going to miss significant games. But
I don't think he's missing 8 games this year. No.
But in terms of camp and preseason, because once you've missed any bit of camp, there's no reason to force a vet who knows the system and everything to play in a preseason game. The question will be, is he available for the opener against the Ravens? And it's hard for me to be like, well, do you think he is?
First 2 games, it'd be kind of nice if he's available.
It's hard for me to ask you or even ask myself the question, well, do you think he's going to be available? We don't even know what the injury. It's a quad injury. How am I supposed to tell you?
Generic quad injury.
How am I supposed to tell you, no, there's no chance without even knowing the actual injury at all?
I think he could play in that game, but I also think it's possible he won't.
Yes.
Is what I'll tell you based on anything. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I wouldn't say it the way you and I were talking about Worthy in the offseason, where it's dude, he's hurt in May. It's probably fine. I don't think he's at threat of missing time right now because he's hurt in May. There's a real threat. Justin Reed will not be available to 2 very important games on their schedule.
But what's he like in 40-something days? And that's really what matters.
And we still got some runway on it. That's a lot of runway. 40 days is a long time. Is that how far we are still?
I think 44 days from the opener. I think it's
Have you
something
been
like that.
keeping track?
I think that's right.
You've been going through the countdown?
He's doing
you can check.
He's just doing the dashed lines on his wall.
That's right. Yeah, I actually have it carved in.
You don't have to do that to the Royals are good.
I have it carved in. Yeah.
We have one.
The dresser, actually the back of the dresser. Yeah.
Nothing made me happier than you and I being at camp yesterday and talking legitimate Royals. Because it's great, I get to talk Chiefs. There's plenty of interesting things about this team, obviously. Not to mention the defending the back-to-back Super Bowl champion, so they're always going to be interesting. But in addition to that, Bobby Wood Jr. is just going to hit 800 in the second half. Great.
Part of me wonders, I know along the Justin Reed conversation, we don't know how long he'll be out, but say it's nagging him a little bit and he misses the first, let's say, 2 games.
Okay.
You got Jaden Hicks, and everybody at the moment he was selected was like, "Oh, this could be the steal of the draft." That was a lot of the conversation.
Did really love it.
And as Spag said, not that it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise for the depth and being able to get the guys in there to get some reps with the first team. Jaden Hicks is doing that with Justin Reed out. Not that this would happen. I don't think it would, but I wanted to pose the question: if he's out for the first 2 weeks of the season, and let's say Jaden Hicks is having all-time games, He's playing great. He's making plays. Is there any chance that the Chiefs you know what? Maybe we just stick with Jaden, or is it Justin Reed's job regardless?
Now, maybe Hicks ends up getting more playing time because he impresses, sure.
But nothing about the way that they've done this before.
There's no way that he could.
Yeah. Justin Reed, it's his job. Yeah, it's his job for this year. It is great
to have.
He
can't
get
Wally pipped.
Yeah, yes, Drew.
I know it now.
We're good now.
No, look, Jaden Hicks getting reps is going to end up being a beneficial thing for them long term, not only this year but going forward. And
Sure.
So that is the part that is nice about this. But Jaden Reed is a starting safety for this team whenever he's back, whether it's not missing a single game, whether it's a month into the season. Who knows what it's going to be? He's way too good of a leader in that secondary that's still very young. Let's not forget, especially now that Snead's not back there. Trent McDuffie's going to have to take on a bigger role. I mean, they've shown time and time again, though, that the secondary's been one of the spots that you have the most confidence in of them developing. I think you were gone, Cody, when you mentioned there's two areas. Every team has some element, because of their coaching staff or development, that you trust them more at that position than you would any other to develop.
Corner is that for the Chiefs.
Corner, secondary as a whole, offensive line. Those are the two areas that I actually do trust the coaching staff and the development more than any other spot to develop. Maybe in Pittsburgh, you think it's wide receiver because they have got a good track record of wide receiver, right? Sure. Every organization
and defensive lineman,
or good organization usually has one area where like, no, they're just always really freaking good at that. Baltimore, they always have a good defense, don't they? Like, seems like they always
seem to have some linebacker who can just and safeties.
Right?
They always have some baller at safety that you're like, how the hell you always have just like the perfect guy there?
And so for the Chiefs, it's secondary and it's offensive line to me.
I will say that Jaden Hicks does appear. Side note on just, I guess, I don't think he can take his job this year. He does appear to just be the next in the line, doesn't he? The next in the long list of safeties, secondary players that once again immediately step in, show absolutely no downside in the talent or the movement. This is what Spag said about him after Monday. He's playing a bunch of different positions, kind of going through the same thing Shamari Connor went through last year, where you're trying to learn everything in volume, not just learning one spot. But, without Justin Reed, they're going to have him. Jaden's going to benefit. And so when you think about it that way, Shamari Connor, we just had him on the show yesterday. If you missed that, you can go to 610sports.com and see or listen to the interview there on the Cody and Gold tab. But he got so much better at the end of the year. And we talked about that with Brian Cook the year before that. You see these secondary players. Drew, it's never like week 2 or 3. But for like 5 years in a row under Spags, about week 8 or 9, you start noticing some secondary player like, damn, they're pretty good. Like, they're playing meaningful snaps for this team, like, now. And they're getting better and better and better. I feel like Hicks is just going to be the next guy in that line. By week 8 or 9, we're going to be talking more and more about Jaden Hicks.
I mean, he was projected to be
more and more.
He was projected to be early second.
Brugler had him as the second best safety his entire class, but everybody's got it a little bit different. He's a big draft guy if you don't follow Dane Brugler, but he had him as his second best safety. I don't think he was alone in that development. Why did he go so late? Was there an injury thing? I don't remember now.
It wasn't hurt.
I don't think there was anything.
Just fell. Just one of those players just fell a little bit further, and it sets up the pipeline that you got to have at certain positions that they've been able to have. Why, I mean, honestly, why were they able to, even at corner, not bring back Snead? Not because he wasn't great. It's because they had Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
But I hear you. Obviously,
all that stuff is like
it's a trickle down effect. And so having the next guy up, and so I mentioned this earlier in the show. Tyrann Mathieu, they got, at the time he was the right signing. They got plenty out of Tyrann Mathieu, helped him win a Super Bowl. Then it was time to move on. So they signed Justin Reed. They've gotten really good years out of him. I think it'll be another really good year once he's healthy again. Then after that, maybe it's time to move on at that point, not to pay him. So then they have ideally a Jaden Hicks type that can slide in. Like that's what good organizations do. And at that particular area, they've had success doing it. So I imagine, even before this NFI list thing, when they drafted Jaden Hicks, I think immediately you had to think, oh, maybe that's going to be the next guy that ends up being safety for this team in a year or two.
I don't even know if they meant to draft a safety there. It's just that he was there, and they're like, holy crap, he's here,
sure.
and why not take the best player available at that point? It's not like they needed, a safety, but being able to solidify that spot in the long term is something that they did with him.
We are not at a camp today because we have the NCAA football tournament for the listeners. If you qualified, obviously we'll see you there. But as Gold mentioned, you can come watch down there at Hy-Vee Arena with us, brought to you by Level Up. So we'll be down there. Obviously, we're not at camp. Somebody did ask, do you think Chris Jones was out looking for a snow cone today?
I bet
probably.
He came by the tent, yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Maybe Kona Ice was waiting for him and just still hooked him up. Who knows? But yeah, we're not at camp today. Tomorrow, back up there, back in St. Joe, Wednesday and Friday.
So,
oh boy, I got off topic, but I got an email. I'm sure I didn't get selected, but
the Masters? I got denied.
I just got my email
last night.
I just got it now.
No good?
No good.
How many years have you been entering?
10.
I already won once, so I can't really complain. And I've only been doing it for like
For
5 years.
For those that don't know, the Masters, every year you can submit an application for either practice round or whatever. I only selected the Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I wasn't expecting to get picked, but still. Now it's official.
You've been denied? Drew, denied?
I've never done that
What?
before.
You're the golf guy.
I don't want to come across as that person. I won't be able to go to any of the actual rounds, but with my brother being a PGA teaching pro, there's a possibility where I can go to like a Wednesday practice round and I don't need to submit any.
Well. Okay.
Excuse
sir.
me. I guess we didn't all just
I said
have that
I
option.
said, you asked me. I said I didn't want to be that guy. I was going to keep my mouth shut.
Thank you for submitting your 2025. We have now completed the selection. Unfortunately, your entry was not selected. Yeah,
I don't know how I got
You got picked for practice last year.
And like the second year or third year I had
this is
been
year
doing
10. I've been doing this thing for 10 years.
Just let me right in.
You should just go to the Open instead.
He's been to the Open.
I've been to PGA. No, I've been to PGA Championship.
You've been to PGA Championship.
The only golf event I have any interest ever going to now is the Masters. I've been to a PGA Championship. I got to see Tiger when he was actually playing good golf at Bethpage. That's all I need. But the Masters.
You've been to the Waste Management Open?
Been to the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit. I've been to all the great ones.
The Rocket Mortgage Classic?
Yeah, that's because I went prior job that I was at when I was doing radio down at SB Nation. The Rocket Mortgage was a big sponsor, and so it was their first year of the tournament, so they flew us up there, and we did our show from there, and that's the reason why I
go to
went.
Scotland.
Got it.
Yeah, Drew, Scotland would be fun. I mean, it'd be incredible to go.
Sounds cool.
You'd have to brace for the rain. That'd be the only bad part is the weather.
Someone says, Gold, you got selected for a movie role. Don't worry about it, basically.
Yeah, that's your trade-off.
That's fair. That's true. That's,
you want a different lottery system, you know?
That's true.
And Gold said he was a very lucky person for a long time. Used to win free game systems and Mountain Dew caps.
I have had.
He's won some stuff
I've had
over the
some
years.
good luck on my side at times. The Xbox console one is the one I've told you about. Back when I was in probably junior high, whenever the Xbox 360 came out. So I was probably in junior high. Mountain Dew had a every 10-minute contest where you entered the code from the cap. It wasn't, hey, unscrew the cap and it says you won a console, but there was a code. You entered that code and it got you entries to win potentially every 10 minutes, a console. So I picked a random one, like it was like the 6 o'clock AM entry or something. Came over from school and it says Alex G. Overland Park, Kansas. And I was like, what? And obviously I got the console a day or two early. And I also got extra entries because I didn't just buy a ton of Mountain Dew. Back then there wasn't as good of barriers for making multiple email accounts. They gave you a free code for every new email account.
Oh, so you made
I had a spreadsheet,
emails.
Drew. I had a
spreadsheet.
Oh my God!
You can laugh. It worked, did it not? I had a spreadsheet of 100 different Yahoo email addresses that got me an extra 100 codes.
That's doing too much. That's
too much. I won the console.
I know you got it, but
Drew, this was 12 or 13-year-old me. No issue at all.
I didn't won. So.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it now. I don't care enough now.
At 12, your time has no value.
At 12 years old, that was the coolest thing to try to win a gaming console.
I never really entered that stuff. I just kind of like.
Oh, I don't do any of the cap stuff.
Cody
normally.
was too busy playing outside.
That's right, getting stung by bees.
Stung by bees.
That's right.
Living my life.
Yeah.
We used to go play paintball against each other in the woods.
That sounds
gear.
fun. Well,
no gear, just the paintball gun.
All right, up next, we'll get to what's trending and back into the theatrics from last night at a Kauffman Stadium, in particular, Bobby Wood Jr.'s performance.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Subscribe and download the 249 Miles of Football podcast hosted by Drew Nixon on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts, with new episodes released every Wednesday. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 610 Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to rexbuyskc.com. That's rexbuyskc.com, and I look forward to working with you.
We all know the expression, too much of a good thing. But how much water on a lawn is too much? How much is not enough? This is Larry Ryan at Ryan Lawn and Tree. The answer is, it depends. In fact, it depends on a lot of things. Shade and sun, soil, type of trees and landscape plants near the turf areas, slope changes, different grass varieties, and more. A good sprinkler system is a lot more than a bunch of sprinkler heads that get everything wet. It's part of an ecosystem. At Ryan Lawn and Tree, our irrigation team trains with our horticulture, turf, and urban forestry teams. No one is better at putting the right amount of water in the right place. Combine that spatial plant knowledge with the right sprinkler heads and controller technology, and the results are amazing. Visit ryanlawn.com/water today and schedule your sprinkler system inspection. That's ryanlawn.com/water.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters. And, hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationship with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
It's back to school time and fall is right around the corner. That means you're going to want to look and feel your best when you're getting ready to do all of those fall activities. In fact, for the first time in years, I feel great, and I'm happy to say that I look and feel wonderful because of the folks over at Supplement Superstores. But it wasn't like that a year ago. I was sluggish. My workouts weren't great, and I was carrying around extra weight. I'm thinking to myself, I got to lose some weight. So I stopped by Supplement Superstores and told them I wanted to lose about 10 to 15 pounds. They said, no problem, we can handle that. 9 months later, I'm down 30 pounds. There isn't a day that goes by where someone doesn't tell me how great I look, and I love them for it. I'm taking the Flashpoint Complex. It's a refreshing drink in the morning that gives me sustained energy all day long, and then a refreshing drink at night that helps me recover and get the best sleep of my life. So stop into any of the 8 Kansas City area Supplement Superstores. Tell them I sent you. You'll get 20% off the Flashpoint Complex. Supplement Superstores, when you're ready to feel your best.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. The all-new 249 Miles of Football podcast, hosted by Drew Nixon, with new episodes released every Wednesday, is available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. 610 Sports Radio, KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, and Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Number one on what's trending, well, the Royals have won 4 in a row, 8 out of their last 10 games. Now just 4 back in the Central. They got a 2-game cushion in front of the Red Sox for the final wild card spot. Things have been going perfectly post All-Star break. Last night also added some new juice to the second half of the season with a little bit of the back and forth, and both teams obviously having plenty of emotions after Bobby Wood Jr. was a hit shy of the cycle, and you had the Diamondbacks picture Castellanos throw at him, hit his elbow. We're going to talk more about Bobby Wood's performance and just what last night means in the grand scheme of things. But Royals back at it tonight. Alec Marsh gets the nod. 7:10 first pitch. Vern's on Deck show right here on 610 Sports Radio at 6 o'clock. But the Royals 56-45 now, tying last year's entire win mark.
July 22nd. Pretty good. I'll take it. I like this a lot better, I'm going to say, than last year. Seems significantly more enjoyable. Next up on What's Trending, Xavier Worthy once again missed practice today, but now we know the reason. They called it an illness yesterday. Official from the team today, it is strep throat, according to reports. Hopefully Xavier Worthy heals up, gets back on the practice field here soon. He actually really does need these reps. He missed so much of the on-field, off-season stuff because of the issue with his hamstring. So these reps are more important to him than to others. It always comes back to the same thing. I told you, I think when he misses offseason, I think you got to kind of expect a little bit of a ease into the season. I'm not going to panic about the first 4 or 5 weeks worth of stats for Xavier Worthy, most likely, Gold, because I don't think you can put too much on his plate early with this much of the offseason program kind of lost.
Next up on What's Trending, news out of Jets camp. According to Ian Rappaport, Hassan Reddick holding out of training camp. He wants an adjustment to his contract. Remember, skipping training camp, $50,000 per day fines for veterans like Hassan Reddick. He already skipped offseason workouts, mandatory minicamp. He hasn't played for the Jets yet. This was a trade. He gets traded from the Eagles in the offseason to the Jets. They had to have known when they traded him that he was going to want some sort of new contract or bump in pay. It's pretty bad that you trade for a guy and you still haven't worked.
The Panthers knew that. How the hell did you not know it?
Or you're talking about the other separate trade.
Sorry,
I hear you.
Yeah, I meant, yeah. Anytime you trade for someone, I don't know why you wouldn't know that they don't want a possible contract extension going into these things. Or when you have a high-level player.
Burns, right?
Burns, yeah. I don't know how you don't understand that. He's going to skip practice, which I don't blame him, at least on that end. Next up on What's Trending, according to multiple reports, the NFL and NFLPA have had high-level discussions over an 18-game schedule. That, according to the NFLPA leader over to the Washington Post. He said there's still a lot of things to work out, like you can't just pluck an 18th game out of nowhere. But I told you, the second the NFL got that DirecTV verdict for the amount of money they're going to be asked to pay for that, they were going to push harder and faster for this 18th game schedule. The fact that they've already met with the NFLPA in this does not surprise me. If I'm the Players Association, I am asking for the world as part of this deal. You better actually get something for it, because you're getting raked over the coals for the last, 3 versions of these negotiations, Gold? What do you think? 4 versions?
Yeah. Oh, it's going
to
continue.
It's going to
continue, unfortunately. It's just tough to get everybody on the same page. That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Don't forget, though, later on today at Hy-Vee Arena with Level Up, we've got our College Football 25 video game tournament. The bracket is out. You can check it out on social media. We'll be broadcasting live, the drive will, this afternoon. All of us will be hopping on the show, though, at some point. And we shall see how far those of us at the station go versus the listeners. 32 of us, 8 from the station. I just saw, though, a text. I got a text. I was like, is it a confirmed text? I think we just had somebody drop out. This is good news for Dusty.
Wait. So how we just pluck someone off the street?
According to my conversation with Speck yesterday, and maybe it changed, it's a forfeit.
Forfeit?
Does this person actually play Dusty, though? I think they do.
It's the 13-year-old is not going to make it.
I believe
he is extremely disappointed. I think this is his dad texting in.
Dang.
Which sucks. So hopefully everything's all right. But yeah, it sounds like maybe so. Dusty,
you think he's getting a free pass to round 2?
So he's going to say he got to round 2, which is
Sweet 16. You know,
whoever gets to play Dusty in round 2, man, they're going to cakewalk into the semifinals.
I like that one win gets you in the Sweet 16.
Someone said there's no forfeit. That's unless Specs change the rule. There is. We're not to make it fair.
I think we should just pluck a listener.
No, but to make it fair, because then if that listener that is the new edition today wins the tournament, people will be upset that tried to qualify before. So unfortunately, it sounds like
I believe
Dusty's
that
forfeit.
I think it's Dusty's opponent. I don't want to make it seem like it was because I don't know.
I thought you said it was Dusty's
I said
opponent.
I think it was.
I see.
I actually don't know.
Dusty is the one who said he's playing.
They did win on this show, but I don't know if they're the one who's
Dusty is playing.
You have to give the last.
I don't think that's Dusty's opponent. No, Curtis is not. I don't. think,
Casey Kurt.
That's Casey Kurt.
Correct.
That's not Dusty's opponent. Yeah. This is. I don't know who's playing the 13-year-old kid or was scheduled to. No, Dusty's playing.
still got to earn his
Dusty's
spot.
playing Casey Kurt.
Sorry, Dusty.
Sorry, Dusty, if you're listening. Never mind. You still might lose in round 1. I don't know. Somebody else is getting a break then. Good for you. I don't know who.
I'd like it to be me. You know.
No, we already know Arthur, who you're playing, has played in 35
Someone says make him
games.
play against the computer. You still got to win your match. You know. Earn your spot.
Someone's mad at me. They said Hope Gold's part gets cut out of the movie. It's not my decision with the.
What did you do? That's just rude.
I'm relaying the information from the boss that says that it's a forfeit if someone doesn't show up today.
If anything, I'll say Gold has asked. I think if you asked Speck honestly, like if you gave him like a truth serum and he had to answer it, Speck would be like, Gold has asked me too many questions about the rules of this thing and I don't care.
Because I'm trying
no, I'm not. Look, I'm just saying like Gold cares more about the setup of this event than Speck, I think.
Well, because I have
the
played,
number of rules for video.
I've played in video game tournaments before, and I know we're like, oh, it's just going to be a great time. It is going to be a great time. I can't wait. But when the prize is a $500 gaming console, people want to know the rules. We can't be like, you go, because here's what happens. You do a video game tournament and you don't have any rules, and people just show up, and then it's like, well, I'm going to do this change, or I'm playing on Heisman, or nobody knows. So that's why we know it's 3-minute quarters, and it's on All-American. These are things we had to get ironed out.
What's All-American? The second hardest level?
Yes. By looking at who this might have been, they either are on Rob's section. So if Rob wins against the guy who's played 60 games or 60 hours,
he's not beating that guy.
Then I think that might be the person, or they're on CDOT's side.
Who is good at this station? Have we determined that? Okay,
at
the people who
station,
have
I
the
think
console
Gold might be the
are
best.
you,
No.
Carrington, Gold,
I'm
Drew.
not the best. Carrington and I just went to 3 overtimes last night. He technically won one more game than I did. I wasn't playing as KU. I was playing as random Boise State in South Carolina.
Rob might be the best, actually, because
I think it's pretty level. Of those of us at the station that have played, I actually think we're all not that far apart from each other. Other than those that have played. Not
yeah, I haven't played, so and Dusty hasn't played.
You, Dusty, and Bink.
But no,
My problem is I didn't have time. I wasn't going to buy. It didn't make sense. I didn't have enough time to be good at the game by the time that it mattered. I would have gotten like 2 games in. My whole console for 2 games? No.
Yeah.
I still got to decide if I'm willing. You caved quick. You were like, I don't know if I'm buying a whole console. You were staring down the barrel of like 3 days off in a row, and you're like, that's it. I'm buying it. I
got the refurbished console. I traded in my old one or sold it on eBay. Got a couple bucks, so it offset the cost a little bit. I got $85 for my old one. And so it offset.
You were saying you would only get like 20 or 30.
That's what I thought. Somebody on eBay bought it for $85.
Yeah,
suckers.
They probably thought that they were getting the right console, but they.
I mean, it's a legit auction.
Well, I'm saying they thought that they were getting the right one for the game.
Oh,
maybe that was why they were so eager to get that console. At the end of the day, it's not.
How much was the refurbished?
It's your win.
With tax, $220.
I don't want to pay that. I'll pay like $100.
You're not getting it for $100.
Maybe at the pawn shop. Didn't we see
I think
one?
the pawn shop, that was the confusion. The Xbox
would you
Series
get it
S.
if it was cheaper, Cody? Because Dusty's the only person at the station who said, I don't play video games anymore other than his Mario Golf.
Wait, Mario
He
Golf?
plays Mario Golf, which
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
classic on N64 back in the day.
Yeah, Dusty is...
So I play probably more Nintendo
person.
Switch than anything because my kids ask me to play.
Fair.
But, like, I don't play... I mean, I don't even play that all that often is part of it. So...
I really just think that, Cody, you're going to be... If you get through the first game, you'll have figured it out enough where you're going to have one of the best teams in the game. I think you
I'm
actually
definitely
might
choosing
have
one
a
of the
shot.
best teams in the game. That's the only way it's competitive.
If you
for me.
can get through the
I'm
first
even.
game, I think you'll have a better gauge on how to play.
Someone says, what happens if it's C-Dot and Alex in the final? It's not going to be because
It's just not... they're not good enough.
Because they're asking because the employees can't win the prize.
That
I
would
don't
be-
know if that situation
They would do the
presents.
third place game, right?
Yes, and I doubt that two of us from the station are playing in the title game.
I don't think so.
After all, I'm going to get bounced in the first round.
How
Stop
many of us
talking
make it
about
to the
this. Stop talking
semifinal?
about this. I'm going to lose the first round. I'm going to lose
That'd
in
be
the
more
first round.
embarrassing for you than me.
Yeah,
Because you've
but
at least played the game.
I have. I don't know who the heck the Sean guy I'm playing. I don't know. He could be amazing at the game. I'm not sure. It's
true.
Anyway, all right, let's get back to some Royals baseball though, because last night did kind of have everything. And not only was it the obvious of putting themselves in a better position for the wild card race and everything, but you needed at times in 2014, 2015, later in the year when the game started to be more magnified, you had a game or two that stood out where the emotions rose and the intensity from the crowd and the clubhouse.
Because other teams start testing you.
And the clubhouse gets closer with that, I feel like. And they already have a pretty good clubhouse anyway. But yesterday, when you have your star player, one of the best, if not the best right now in baseball, in Bobby Witt Jr., going for a cycle, trying to make history, and you have an Arizona Diamondbacks team where their pitcher, Castellanos, hits them in the elbow, and immediately you have the crowd reaction, you had Salvi coming to the defense of Bobby Witt Jr., and then the natural retaliatory throw in the next inning that hits Moreno or whatever for the Diamondbacks. And then you get the managers arguing a little bit with each other, and Lovello got tossed from the Diamondbacks. All of like those emotions and hearing Salvador Perez after the game say he's got Junior's back, that's all, I think, another great sign of where this team is headed in the second half of the season. Like you need moments like that, I think, in these special seasons. We certainly saw it in 14 and 15.
You have to... I think you have to have a little saltiness to you. I don't think everyone can just be a sweetheart and you just like link arms hand in hand and like everything goes smooth, because what happened is, so you remember all those fights the Royals got in? That happened a lot, not even late in the season, early in the season in 14 and early in the season in 15. Because once the Royals showed that they had a little bite and could play a little bit, teams did start messing with them, started challenging whether or not they were mentally tough enough to not just play under those conditions, but continue to play well under those conditions. The second things got heated last night, the Royals didn't shrink up and die. They just extended their lead. They started picking on the Diamondbacks instead. And again, the Diamondbacks are kind of a mediocre team this year. They're around 500. They were in the World Series last year. They have been a good franchise for the last couple of years. They're salty. They've got some good players on their team. And they were testing the Royals a little bit last night. And look, and this is with the manager after the game. I don't believe him when he says I wouldn't pick on the future star of all of baseball. It's a little kiss-assy, if I'm being honest. This is what he had to say on the game about whether or not they hit Bobby Witt Jr. on purpose.
I got ejected by Jordan Baker. I never said one thing to Salvador Perez. I love Salvador Perez. I think he's been an unbelievable major league player, and I'm a huge fan of his. I just wanted him to hear what I was going to say to Jordan. And what I said was, if you think in your right mind that I was going to ask our team or my team to hit the future of Major League Baseball, one of the best players in Major League Baseball, you're crazy. And you lost control of this situation and you got it wrong. That's exactly what I said to Jordan Baker. And I wanted Salvi to hear that. I wanted him to take it back to their dugout to make sure that he understood that that's how I felt about the situation and that's how I feel about Bobby Witt Jr. He's an unbelievable player, and I would never, ever endorse hitting another player. I would never, ever do that.
Okay, so no one said that you stood in the line room and you said, plunk him, hit him. No, your boys did it.
Yeah, it was Castellanos.
Yeah, Castellanos made a decision to hit Bobby Witt Jr. or at least go inside so that it was a possibility.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't hit, but I'm going to brush him back a little bit.
He's a little too comfy in there. I'm going to make sure he's not too comfortable. And then he got hit and has been for the last 100 years of baseball retribution. Your guy's got to wear it. And it was like, you got it wrong. By that point, they hadn't thrown anybody out. They just talked for a minute and issued warnings. A guy who was 3 for 3 with a home run, a triple, and a double stepped up to the dish and got plunked. The correct thing to do if you're an umpire in that situation is to issue a warning so that the next guy who gets plunked gets to come out of the game. So, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And so, like, Bobby Wood Jr. gets hit. They hit their guy. They issue warnings. They're like, hey, don't do it anymore. And then he's going to throw a little fit. Sorry. I hope there's a fight tonight.
If somebody gets hit tonight, it's on.
Accidentally,
yeah, it's on tonight.
It's absolutely on. Do you see Will Smith standing at the gate? Will Smith was
at the edge of the dugout?
Dude, he was waiting. If they had called Will Smith's name, he was in. Like, if people started to move towards the field, Will Smith was going to be like the second guy out there. He was waiting for his moment. So, like, I just don't him pretending like this wasn't all intention.
Tensions can cool down if everything goes smooth tonight and you don't have anything dicey like that. Then I don't think it'll flare back up on Wednesday.
No, it's tonight.
Tonight's tonight. Like if somebody, like you said, even if it's not intentional, the perception's going to be that it is. If you lose control of one and it gets somebody, you could actually see some even more tension than what was presented yesterday. Because I actually thought the players, for the most part, handled themselves fine. Like, Lovello escalated it more a little
Salva
bit.
got hot.
Because I think Moreno, right? With the player that got hit for the D-backs. He put his head down, and he jogged first. He knew it was coming. He understands how it works. He knew somebody was going to get plunked on his team because of what his pitcher did. It just so happened to be him. He didn't argue. He didn't stare down Schreiber or anything like that. No, he took his base. He knew. Everyone moved on. And then the manager, Lovello, came out and kind of caused the tensions to rise. And Salvi, the crowd was chanting Salvi. It was awesome. It was the same type of moments we had in 14 or 15. There were certain series, where teams. I don't know if the Diamondbacks were testing the Royals. I don't think it's the same as what the A's and White Sox did in the 14 and 15 seasons.
But when a young team starts getting good, teams do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Experienced teams like the Diamondbacks do that.
I don't know if the Diamondbacks NL team, there's not a history there. I don't know if it was that, but other teams might, and that's why it was important last night. I still think for Salvi to have Bobby Woods back the way he did. Clearly, I think the clubhouse is even closer after last night.
And then for after the game, for him to tell Cotrero that Bobby Wood Jr. is the single best player he's ever played with. Salvador Perez played with a lot of baseball players. I know they've all been in Kansas City, and you're like, well, the Royals, that's not hard. Salvador Perez has been around a lot of great baseball players, a lot of really good baseball players, and guys that are like dear, lifelong friends for him. And he's out here telling you that's the best player I've ever seen. And honestly, it's not surprising. I mean, when you watch him play, you're like, whew, well, that's different. Like, I think it was maybe 2 months ago we were talking on the show, and I mean, now more than ever, it's easy to make the argument, especially because Shohei Ohtani isn't pitching. I mean, Kansas City might very well have the best baseball player on the planet and the best football player on the planet. They have the best football player, and again, the best baseball player is certainly an argument. No one has been more valuable to their team based on analytics than Bobby Witt Jr. this year. He's been the single most valuable player in baseball to this point of the Major League Baseball season.
And, since the All-Star break, 12 of 15.
Ridiculous.
341 average now is what it's up to. 4 straight 3-hit games. Johnny Damon did that in 2000 for the second best, and now he's 2 shy of what George Brett did, which was 6 games in a row back in 1976 of 3-hit straight, consecutive 3-hit games.
What year?
So 1976.
I thought for sure you were going to say the year that he hit 390. No. I was like,
this is from MLB stats. This is not my stat. Sure. It's just referencing. I'm going to assume that's the correct year. That's what's listed there. But yeah, he's sensational, and we've talked about it plenty of times about how important it was to get that contract extension done before the start of the season, especially now with what he's doing. And he, to me, is guaranteed to finish top 3 in MVP now. We can debate whether or not he has a chance to win it. I think he's got a chance. I think it's a tough hill to climb based off of how, unfortunately, members of the media that vote on that kind of award, how they perceive it. Home runs way too heavily, I think, in some minds. I also think
don't even factor in the stadium part of that.
The New York market helps Aaron Judge, and that's not to say Aaron Judge is not having a great year. He is. But Bobby's, to me, solidified that he's finishing top 3. The question is, can he finish top 2? Can he win it? And I think the Royals have to win the division for him to win it. Unfortunately, when people look at it, that will matter. And if the Royals, it's September and they're in the division lead or a game or 2 back somehow, then I think the case for Bobby Wood Jr. to win increases.
What's wild is Bobby Wood Jr. had a really good year last year. Do you remember the way we were talking about Bobby at the end of last year? Like, wow, look at the talent. He's a star. He is only one double short of his entire season total last year, Gold. And remember, he played in 158 games. He played every game pretty much. He was only one triple short of his entire season from last year. He's only 25 RBI short of his entire total from last year. He's hitting 65 points better on average, 70 point better on base percentage, a full 100 points better on his slug, and 160 points better on his OPS. And I thought he was great last year. So, like, he's on just a different planet right now.
This is who he is, man. And he's still so young. That's what's exciting.
He's 24.
This is not peak Bobby Witt Jr. Now, this week might be 800 batting average. But in terms of his overall playing ability, yeah, he's only getting better. And that's freaking awesome that he's locked up here in Kansas City for multiple years. That's why, as we've said over and over, you can enjoy it even more because it's not a question of like, oh, man, after this year, there's no way they can afford him. No, he signed an extension before the season. And it was a record-setting deal, and it looks even better than it did that day that they signed him. And the team, the record, 56 wins, I understand it speaks to how bad last season was, but they have now as many wins as they had all of last season. Like, if you just need another example of what a turnaround this has been for this club, and Bobby's a huge, huge part of that. But you got a top 3 MVP guy in Bobby Witt Jr. You had Cole Reagans and Seth Lugo, of course, in the All-Star game. And Seth Lugo's having a career season. Cole Reagans has been sensational. Brady Singer's having a great – you just keep going down the line. That's why they're in the position they are. But to match last year's win total, even if it was horrific, 56 – and it's July 23rd is incredible.
Yeah, all of August, all of September. They got 59, 60 more games left in the season, and they've already topped. Great. Even if they went 500 the rest of the way, that means they would clear their win total by 30. I haven't done the math on it recently. What would their record need to be to break the single best turnaround still?
Thinking of the Diamondbacks, weren't they up there? I think it was in Arizona historically one of the great turnarounds from worst to first.
From a couple
of
years ago, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were up there.
I'd have to pull it back up. We've talked about this before, but
no, it's just been a while. We were talking about it when it was like really early in the season, and all of those things. So I didn't know. I couldn't remember. Plus 35 wins. The 1999 Diamondbacks.
There it is. Yep. 65 and 98. They won 100 in 99. You had the 1989 Orioles who won 33 more. They won 54 and 88. They won 87 and 89. That's actually probably a closer comparison, just number-wise. From 54 to 87, the Royals are trying to go from 56 to, hopefully, I think 90 to win the division. To me, they're going to have to get to 90.
Yeah.
Wild card, 88 at least, I think.
They'd have to go 35 and 24 to
11 over
to
the rest
tie
of the
it.
way.
It's not that crazy. I mean,
No,
look,
it's not.
either way, they're going to be on this list of some of the single greatest turnarounds in Major League Baseball
last year's
history. They're going to be in
Orioles.
that range.
Last year's Orioles, or I guess 2 years ago, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
52 wins in 2021. They won 83 in 2022.
Like if they go 500, they'll be 30 games better than they were, which will be one of the 5 best turnarounds in MLB history. And again, it is because what we talked about last year, they're young and now they can pitch. Makes a difference.
Up next, we get back to the Chiefs a little bit. National perspective on camp so far, plus the rest of the AFC contenders. Matt Verderam of Sports Illustrated, he has a new column out about how the season could turn out for some of the top names across the league. We'll get into that next with him.
Cody and Gold. Make sure to follow the show on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 610 Sports Radio.
What does it mean to be the official information technology provider for the Chiefs? It means everything. Technology Group Solutions makes sure everything runs flawlessly for the millions of fans that attend games and the hundreds of millions of fans that comprise Chiefs Kingdom around the world. Technology Group Solutions can deploy that same dedication, problem solving, and incredible service to ensure your business runs smoothly. Technology Group Solutions, powering Chiefs Kingdom, and ready to do the same for you.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
This past weekend, my wife and I did a charcuterie board all from Hy-Vee. We saved a ton of money shopping the aisles, getting all the great meats and cheeses. And I'll save even more this Thursday during the 12-hour buy one, get one free sale. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., I'm stocking up on all of my favorites, like buy one, get one free Lay's potato chips and Bluebell ice cream. Buy 8, get 8 free boneless pork chops, and buy 4 ground beef patties and get 4 special recipe bratwurst free, and lots more. It's BOGO Day this Thursday, only at Hy-Vee.
Tax-free weekend is twice as nice this year with help from Hy-Vee. This weekend, earn double fuel savings when you purchase retail gift cards. Gear up for back to school with gift cards to Best Buy, Kohl's, TJ Maxx, and more. Earn 2 times the everyday fuel discount with every gift card purchased. The more you spend, the more you save. Use those gift cards to shop during Missouri's tax-free weekend and enjoy double the discount with your next fill-up. Save on gas while you save on tax. July 26th to 28th, only at Hy-Vee. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
We're talking with Dr. Chris Hettinger, board-certified urologist at Kansas City Urology Care. Tell us what sets KCUC apart from other urology practices.
The things that make us stand out are the technology at our disposal, the quality of the surgeons, and the experience from years and years of robotic surgery.
KCUC was the first to bring robotic surgery to Kansas City, right?
We performed the first robotic surgery in Kansas City in 2003 and continue to perform hundreds of urologic robotic surgeries in the Kansas City metro area every year. Robotic surgery offers less blood loss, shorter hospitalization, less pain, shorter recovery period. After robotic surgery, many of my patients get back to work within a week or two. For abdominal surgery, it's revolutionized what we've done.
From problems urinating to sexual function to prostate cancer, see the experts. Kansas City Urology Care. At KCUC, you see the best in KC. To make an appointment, visit appointments.kcuc.com.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We can get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we can take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
As school messes return, rest easy. Clorox has got your back to school.
Oh, no. I'm back. That messy science experiment. And I brought baking soda, cornstarch.
And you're due tomorrow, right? Well, at least I stocked up on Clorox disinfecting wipes, because you're not messing up my kitchen counters like last time.
Ooh, smart. Got any food coloring?
And off to the store we go.
Stock up on Clorox disinfecting wipes that clean 3 times better than wet paper towels on kitchen grease and soap scum. Use as directed.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-895-7664. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-895-7664 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-895-7664.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Jeep's coverage is brought to you by Dury Vision. Schedule your free consultation today. DuryVision.com.
Imagine seeing better than you ever have, maybe without contacts or glasses. That's what I do now, thanks to Dury Vision. And right now is a great time to call them up with their Friends and Family Savings Event where you can save up to $1,000 on LASIK. DuryVision.com or 913-491-3330. Back here, Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the random question of the day in about 15 minutes. Also, I guess passing along some information. If you are going to our College Football 25 tournament
to play
tonight,
or to watch.
To play or to watch. Remember, check-ins at 2 if you qualified. Starts at 3. Hy-Vee Arena. I'm told, I guess, park on the north side of Hy-Vee Arena. You'll see some signs for Level Up, which is the gaming company we're working with for this. So we're excited. Hope to see you guys out there later on this afternoon. But let's go out to the 610 hotline and talk to Matt Verderam, staff writer over at Sports Illustrated. He also has a new Chiefs video podcast, The Matt Verderam Show. If you haven't checked it out, be sure to do that. Matt, great to have you on the show. Have you got the college football video game yet?
Not only did I get the college football video game, I bought the PlayStation 5 literally so I could get the college football game. I am trying to take Virginia back to glory, and I got to tell you, it was a slow start, but took down number 9 Utah on the road last night. So feeling good.
Hey, so I haven't played it yet. I was on vacation.
He's screwed for this tournament.
I took the 2 young kids. We were gone, and so how about a shape am I in? If I've just played other football video games, am I still screwed?
I think so. I have not played a football video game in years because I'm not a big Madden guy. I feel like the game's just the same every year, and they just roll it out. I got bored of it. I think it's pretty easy to pick up and play. I think offensively, I know a lot of people have complained about throwing against zone defense. I think it's fine. I've had no problem doing that. However, you better score points because playing defense, at least with Virginia, it is a race to 40. So that to me has been more challenging.
Defense
to
is
get
rough.
off the field.
That's fine. I'm choosing one of the best teams in the game. It's the only way I have a chance, Matt. I'm going with Ohio State. I decided I wanted a running back and a mobile quarterback and a good defense.
I mean, well, yeah, geez. I mean, why not? Why not just basically cheat your way to a title at that point? Make it a challenge. I was talking to Jeff Schwartz. He's playing with Tulane. So,
see, Matt, this is a tourney with hosts and listeners. 32 of us today. Cody's getting bounced in the first round, so he has to be.
He said
Ohio
about me
State.
money. I have no chance in the first round.
It's not good. Just buy somebody off. Yeah.
The guy he's playing is played in what is it?
30 games.
30 games. He's in big trouble. Anyway,
it's over.
What? Back to the serious stuff, like Joe Burrow's haircut. What impact do you think that has on Cincinnati's season? I'm sure a huge part, right?
I don't know how much it's going to have an impact on the field, but I got to say, I saw the picture, and I legitimately at first didn't know who it was. I was at the gym, and I looked down. I kind of, didn't know this shit. I looked back. I'm like, is that Burrow? And then somebody put it side by side to a picture of him from 2 months ago when he was in Paris or wherever he was. I was surprised. It's an aggressive look, but hey, you know what? You got to be confident to have that, right? You got to be confident to shave all the locks off and say, "This is how I'm going to roll." So kudos to him.
When you look at what the the Bengals are expected to do in this, you had written a little bit about, and I think other people are talking about what they'll do next with Jamar Chase. The Bengals are interesting to me because they've been one of the primary threats to the Chiefs over the last couple of years. But every time they start getting near a contract again, like Hendrickson asking out or what happened with, like the contract negotiations with Higgins, or the way their owner's talking about Chase. I keep feeling like their cheap owner is going to catch up with them and they'll stop being a threat.
So I look at the Bengals this year. First of all, I'll expound on that in a second. I agree with you to a large extent. But I think I look at the Bengals this year the way I looked at the Bills last year. Like the Bills last year coming into the season, you knew there was a clock that was ticking. They had a lot of guys coming up for new deals. They had a cap crunch that they were facing. Some of their guys were more veteran guys. Now granted, the Bills are a little bit older than this Bengals team, but it's that same idea of like if we don't win now, like Boyd's already gone, Mixon is gone, Higgins is going to be gone after this year. Bates is, of course, long gone a couple of years ago. Like you're starting to lose guys off this team that are driving forces as to why they are a very good team, why even sometimes a great team. As far as Mike Brown goes, I agree completely that, look, he has always been an owner who does not spend money. And if you look at their contracts, even when Bengals fans will point to, well, look at the money they spent on player X, not named Joe Burrow. Look at the guaranteed money. They don't guarantee money. They don't do it. Because to guarantee money in the NFL, you have to put the guaranteed portion in escrow at the time of signing. Mike Brown does not have the money on hand that Stan Kroenke has on hand, that Jerry Jones has on hand, that Clark Hunt has on hand. So it becomes a big issue. There's a reason they sold the naming rights to their stadium a couple of years ago. They needed the money. That wasn't like, hey, this will be nice to pad the bank account. That's like, we need it. So, look, I think eventually they'll pay Chase. But I do think that if Chase wants Justin Jefferson money, like that's going to be a real interesting thing to watch, because I don't know that Mike Brown's just going to go, yeah, sure, no problem, Jamar. We'll give you 4 years and $140 million and guarantee $100. Like, I don't know that that's going to happen.
We're talking to Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated here on Cody and Gold. Before we get to the Chiefs, one last thing at camp. It sounds like up in Green Bay, Jordan Love, by the end of this week, maybe he gets a new contract because he's not practicing until he does. Yeah, I think, talking to people around the league, the general expectation is that he's going to get done pretty soon here. The Packers really like him. I went up to see them a couple times last year. I saw him in training camp, saw him in OTAs. I remember speaking with some people in the organization. And the thought even then, before the season happened, was we believe in this kid. We truly think he's the heir apparent. He's going to be the guy that we drafted in the first round. He needed a couple of years out of Utah State to kind of mature into that role. And I think he has, and we saw that last year. He played great down the stretch. So if you're the Packers, the question really is not when you're going to sign him. I think it's going to be in the next week to 10 days. The question is going to be, what do you pay him? Is it 50 to 51? Is it like they're that lower of the upper crust? Or is it, hey, you know what? You're the latest guy. You're going to reset the market $55 million plus. I would be a little bit skittish to do that just based on 1 year, but when Trevor Lawrence got $55 million a year, if you're Jordan Love, like you've got a compelling argument that you've done as much in the NFL as Trevor Lawrence has.
I think this is go ahead.
Do it. No, I'm just saying you could do it. You could make that argument.
This is kind of the issue that like Miami has with Tua, is they're like every team who only kind of believes in their quarterback, Matt, always tries to like create a middle class. Like it doesn't exist. There is no $40 million quarterback. You either pay him 55 or you draft a guy.
Right. I mean, the $40 million quarterback is Derek Carr. And the Saints, if they could move off of Derek Carr like last night, they'd probably do it. Right? I mean, and that's nothing against Derek Carr. It's just that he's older, and you probably win a Super Bowl with him. Daniel Jones makes $40 million a year. If the Giants could light that contract on fire right this second, they would find the biggest bonfire in New Jersey. They can't. And so you're right. Like there really is no middle class that's worth talking about. I wrote a piece in June about Tua, and I asked, I think, half dozen sources around the league, hey, if you're looking at Tua, what would you do? And different GMs and front office personnel felt different ways about it. But I talked to two defensive coordinators, prominent guys who have faced him before. And I said, hey, look, when you face them, what do you plan for? What do you think about? And both guys said the same thing. He struggles to read defenses, and if we can make him get off the first read, it's over. We worry about speed first, McDaniel second, and then Tua. And like, if you're the Dolphins, if you know that that's true, you're going to pay him $55 million a year when you can never beat a good team and you can't win cold weather, and that's the opinion of a lot of people in the NFL. Like, I think they probably look, history says they'll do it, but I don't know that it's the best idea.
We're talking to Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated, also host of the Matt Verderam Show video podcast on the Chiefs. And we know camp is underway. Still no pads until later on this week. What has kind of stood out to you so far? Because the discussion going into camp was about the left tackle position, and it still is. But on Sunday, everybody got excited with Xavier Worthy, the deep pass that he caught, and then he hasn't practiced since due to an illness, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think, from just looking at it, I'm going to be at their camp as part of the camp tour I'm doing for us. So I'll be there August 1st. And I'm looking forward to watching what I've seen in some of the clips and what you hear about from out of St. Joe, which is, look, it's one thing to be able to throw the ball deep down the field because you have speed on the outside, which now with Hollywood Brown and Worthy, they obviously do. It's another thing to have guys who are really good route runners who can track the ball that far downfield. And that was the thing about that viral highlight with Worthy that I thought was so impressive. Like, look, we know Mahomes is an alien, and he throws a ball that nobody else on earth can make the throw. He makes it look like it's nothing. Worthy tracked that ball about 67, 68 yards in the air and made a catch with, Brian Cook in decent coverage. And then you see a play with Brown today where he runs a little out and up on, a little post route on Tamari Connor. Perfect route, perfect ball, good hands, reads it right into his hand. Like, that's the kind of stuff. It's not just about getting the 50 and 60-yard plays. Those are awesome, obviously. But it's about everything else that it does. It forces defense to just declare, hey, look, we're playing cover 2. We're going to play cover 4. We're going to play a shell defense, and Rashee Rice can go nuts underneath, and Kelsey can go nuts underneath, and you're going to get all these comeback and curl routes at 10, 12 yards because we're just going to play off coverage. That yardage was always there for the Chiefs until last year, and I think this year it'll probably be back.
The other surprising injury thing is Worthy's been out, but Justin Reed looks like he's going to miss probably significant preseason time. Could affect maybe the beginning part of his season. Their whole plan on the kicking game was, let's get Butker out of it because it's weird and we want a tackler. Do you think Louis Rees-Zammit can actually handle that? Or is this the right strategy, Matt? If you were a team and you had a guy who could kick, would you be doing what the Chiefs are doing, and that's taking the kicker off the field?
Yeah, I would. I absolutely would. Because this is a real football play now, and you've got to be able to get off blocks and tackle. And no kicker in the league this side of Darren Bennett's doing it. Like, nobody in the league is going to be shedding blocks and making a play. And look, if Rees-Zammit can do it, that guy, could you think of a more perfect player to have doing it?
No, he's been playing two-way football his entire life, essentially.
Right. If there's ever a guy in the NFL, you're like, that guy, I want him doing it. It's him, right? Like, he'd be your first overall draft pick for that. So if I'm Dave Tobe, if there is any hope he can do that, absolutely. I'm not even thinking twice. And the other thing that's nice about him is, Justin Reed, like, he's getting beat up enough, right? He's playing almost 100% of the snaps on defense, and now you're asking him to take these snaps on. Rees-Zammit is not going to be playing 100% of any kind of snaps. So if you can make him your defense, hey, he's a kickoff guy. He's going to play teams. He's going to be a kickoff guy. He's going to be a returner. That's great. If that's your third running back, or however they want to factor him into the roster, I think for the Chiefs, that's a win.
Do you have one name throughout camp? Most of the spots are obviously solidified other than really left tackle, but that could be a surprise cut at the end of camp. I mean, we focus in on the back end of that wide receiver room, and let's say they keep 7. I don't know how you keep Justin Ross with Sky Moore with Kadarius Toney.
No, I think you're right. Like, it's weird. It's funny. Like I said earlier, I'm going on a camp tour. I'm seeing 8 teams, 7 camps, and 1 joint practice. And I've kind of jotting down notes of like what I want to look for. And I got to the Chiefs one, and I have like okay, these are the strengths, these are weaknesses. And I'm like, what is the Chiefs? Like, what are we worried about with the Chiefs? Like, who their 5th corner is? Other than a left tackle, which is a significant thing. But like, other than that battle, there is nothing with this team. You're like, okay, that's something that's really significant. Yeah, okay, who's going to play the most snaps at corner other than McDuffie? Stuff like that. But like, they have options that aren't disasters. I guess for a surprise cut, it would have to come from the receivers. I just don't see anybody else getting cut that you'd be like, wow. I think they keep 6. That's just my opinion. If they do, you've got Hardman and Watson. You got the 3 big guys, right? So then it really does become Toney, Moore, Remigio, Ross, and I think 3 of those guys are gone. I don't think they're going to keep even 2 of them.
If you had to guess, do you think that Toney's versatility keeps him on the roster? Because the pay-wise, it doesn't matter. They're a couple $1 million either way.
Yeah, it's funny. I've kind of come around on I thought Moore would make the team based on the fact he's a second-round pick, and they invested that in him, and they have an extra year of control on him.
Yeah.
But camp early on has not shown that he's done much. And the fact that they were playing Tony there and they've been trying to, put him in at returner. I mean, I almost feel like when what happened at the Super Bowl week happened and he didn't get cut. And then he just didn't bother to show up to OTAs. And I know they're voluntary, I get it, but let's be real, they're mandatory voluntary. Didn't show up to those, and he's still there, and they're still singing his praises. Now I kind of feel like, I think somehow he's going to end up on the team, which is surprising to me. But I think that if I was a betting man, I think he's probably the most likely guy.
Matt, we'll see you in KC next week. Appreciate it, man, and best of luck again with the Matt Verderame Show. People can check out a Chiefs video podcast as well.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
There you go. That's Matt Verderame from Sports Illustrated. Good to get his insight, especially since he'll be going to all these different camps. We'll probably check in with him when he's been in Kansas City. I think he said, August 1st, he'll be that's next week. He'll be hanging out in.
Try to catch him by the tent.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to make him come down and sweat with us. We looked at a quick weather look for
Someone said it was going to be hot.
We were spoiled yesterday at camp. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be like mid-90s tomorrow. Next Thursday, right now, it can change. 100 degrees. It'll be a great time.
100.
It's going to be a great time next Thursday. It's going to be a great time. Nice and cool.
Do you guys have frog togs that you just dip in some water and they stay cold the entire time?
I don't know what that is.
What's a frog tog?
You don't know what frog togs are?
So there's like a cooling neck thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
Frog
cooling.
tog.
It's like a frog. It's called a frog tog. It's like a towel or like a. It's a certain fabric where
We're
you
going to
dip
bring
it
a
in water
cooler with a towel that's it's soaking in cold water. And
Yeah.
It does appear to be. They sell lots of different things, but their main thing does seem to be this towel that he's talking about.
A frog tog.
You can.
I'm going to bring a kiddie pool.
And just
like
have
a
our feet sitting in there
kiddie pool.
during the.
Dump a bag of ice into it at the beginning of the show. Woo.
Just have our feet soaking.
It doesn't have to be.
There.
The towel doesn't have to be soaking wet though. Like you squeeze the water out of it and it still stays cool the entire time.
We'll figure something out. Hopefully that forecast is wrong and it's not 100 next Thursday. Anyway, let's get to the random question.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew, or in the text line, 913-586-7610. Of course, you can always interact with the show on video. Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube at 610 Sports KC. Question I have for you today is one we were discussing between you and I and John Grayson, who works over at KMBZ, because yesterday we weren't sure, but Chris Jones decided he was back in snow cone business. So, by the way, next Thursday when it's 100 degrees, you will absolutely be there. But when we went there, by now the snow cone place knows us, right? We go up there. She came and she's like, "How are you guys?" Her name's Christy. Every employee at the entire snow cone place asks us. So the question I have for you today is, where have been, let's say your top 2 places where you have a Cheers environment? Everybody knows your name. You walk in and everybody's like, "There's Alex. Here he comes." Bartenders know you. Maybe the host knows you. Maybe everybody at the snow cone stands know you. What are the 2? One of mine is Kelly's. At this point, I can go to Kelly's and everybody knows. For the most part, I know every employee there, and I've been there enough that they know me. So, Kelly's is probably my number 1. But there's been other places over the years. I had that at a coffee shop a couple of times. I don't have a coffee shop anymore. Maybe a couple of local restaurants.
Yeah, there's one place in Boise at one point in time. Now, I guess we'll just give free love to places. We're just going to shout them out. The Bullpen. You've heard me talk about the Bullpen. It's right down the street from me. So, yeah, I know plenty of people there. Yeah,
you walk in and people are like, "Alex!"
Yeah, everybody there knows each other. That's what's kind of cool. And then Tequila Harry's to a certain extent. My parents went to, got food there for many, many years, and so I'll still go and eat dinner with them there sometimes. So, yeah, Tequila Harry's another one.
From Twitch, Cash says local Elks Lodge with my dad. And look, if maybe your dad's a member there, Elks Lodges is literally like a Cheers environment. Have you ever been to one of those? They all know each other.
I'm not
the
familiar.
only people of it's just like I don't know. It's just like a club. People hang out, pay dues. We actually sponsor the Hole for an Elks Lodge every year.
Perfect.
I sponsor it, but we as a show, I put our name on it. It makes more sense that way. Drew, do you have a spot yet in KC? Or are all of yours older
well,
than
I think it's gonna be the Chili's that his wife's at now.
Or Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks knows you. Twin Peaks definitely knows you.
I have been there one time, and that was whatever day I went. None in Kansas City. There was one, though, in downtown Indy on the Circle when I interned. I would go to the same place every single day that I interned, and I would get pepperoni breadsticks, and they were like $4. I'd get 3 pepperoni breadsticks, and I would go in, and I got to the point where they're like, "Hey, 3 pepperoni breadsticks and a Pepsi." I said, "Yep." Like they knew my order.
That's, you know what? Sometimes though, it's like you almost don't want it there, right? Same thing there. Like when I used to have a coffee shop around my house when I lived in Waldo, like they would start making your drink as you walked in, right? And you're like, oh, this is nice. I kind of like the setup here. They knew what the kids liked or anything like that. That's not bad. I don't think I want people just know that I want 3 pepperonis. Like
they always asked me though. They never just did it and said, "Hey man, I've already got your order. It's over here." I didn't get that far. I guess also, I worked at a golf course when I was younger. Anytime I would go, like I would go in and just play all the time. People there just knew who I was, right? All the people who were members and everything. I just show up and they'd be, "Oh, hey, Drew, how's it going?"
A couple people on the text line, of course, texting. I don't know if they're serious. I'm assuming they're joking about naming strip clubs on the text line as well.
That's probably a place where they try to remember you.
Lance says everyone knows me at Whispers. LOL. Lance is in our tournament, I think, today. I think he's playing Mac in the first round, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah,
that's correct.
Someone
says, go ahead.
No, over on Twitch, they said if people start remembering me, I just start taking myself to other places.
Oh.
The Quick Trip by my house, I will say, we're getting close there.
What's wrong with that? They're friendly.
One of the guys is a listener of the station, so that guy always. But like, I think the other employees, because that's my main gas station, the Quick Trip right by my house.
No, but what's the problem with that?
No problem. I'm just saying that's starting to become that way. That's all.
I thought you were acting
we're
like
not fully there, but we're getting there.
So it says Olive Garden, because when I'm there, I feel part of the family. No, over the years, especially I've moved around obviously before, and so any place I've been, eventually, you end up there's that 1 or 2 places.
Chili's though for sure. Now I'm at the point where
does like the assistant manager be like, "What's up?"
They'll say, "Hey man, how's it going?" And every now and then they'll ask about the show or whatever because Breeze told them what I do, and one of the bartenders is more cool with Bree. So every now and then we'll go and eat at the bar whenever she's working. We'll just hang out.
Are you bringing some chicken crispers to the tournament today?
I will not be.
Could you please? Just to be kind.
Can you cater in some crispers for the tournament?
You want me to have Bree show up with some crispers and hang out?
Be very popular if that happens.
You would be. Part of what reminded me of this is, so I went to a remembrance for an old coworker from Webster House on Sunday. So it was my former manager there. He passed away from cancer about a month ago. And we went there, and amongst a bunch of employees who all worked at Webster House were a couple of the people he really got to know because they were regulars at the restaurant. And the second I saw them, I'm like, man, you guys sat at the bar a lot. Like, I remember you being at the restaurant a lot. Like, even I had, like on the flip side, you can have regulars to those things. You and I have regulars who come to 610 sports radio events. At this point, there are some of you that I now know because of the number of, you came to MacArthur's 9th Infantry, or you came to, like whatever. You're going to come to the NCAA tournament today. It happens a lot in our business, pretty frequently. Someone said the QT when I buy cigarettes, as I said earlier. I guess, cigarette orders got to be like buying a drink at a bartender, right? Like if a guy gets the same pack of like, I'll take 100 Pall Malls, you must just know that every time they walk in that's their cigarette, right? If you serve them a couple times a week.
Oh, they're buying packs a week? Yeah, probably.
Well, what's a pack of cigarettes cost these
Asking
days?
the wrong guy.
I've never smoked a cigarette.
I have not either.
I have no clue what a pack of cigs run. No clue.
I'll have to text my brother because he the Zen pouch. He loves Zen pouches, and
those are very
he's always
popular.
talking about,
I know a lot of people that are using the Zen pouches. There's a couple other brands that.
I wonder if he's if people wherever he goes to get those, if they know what he's getting.
I bet they do. I bet after a while they do. They're saving themselves time too.
My first round opponent is texting in now. He's Sean.
Here comes the trash talk, man.
How good is
All right, Sean.
He says, Gold, are you the one playing Sean? If so, let's go. I go, yes. I go, is that you? He goes, that's me. He says, you might take me. I've lost a lot of practice games on Heisman level, though. See, he's playing on Heisman. The tournament's only on All-American, so maybe that'll benefit you. Who are you playing with? That's why I text that in. Well, that's what I'm curious about. Who are you playing with? 1 hour away from us checking in over at Hy-Vee Arena. The Drive's broadcasting live from Hy-Vee Arena for the tournament. But up next, we get back in actually to the Royals a little bit, as well as a question that you were asked, and you want to ask me. I have no idea what this is. We're going to find that together next.
Cody and Gold.
Hey, Drew Nixon, that's just ugly, man.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 610 Sports Radio.
We're hiring residential garage door installers at Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. Join the team trusted here since 1927. Apply today, get a call today. No experience necessary. Paid training for motivated applicants to install garage doors. Hiring bonus up to $2,500. Mechanical, carpentry, or service industry experience is a plus. Good benefits include health, dental, vision, and pension. Earn as you learn to service the best garage door customers in KC. Apply today at overheaddoorkc.com.
Don't miss the 5th largest arms show in America. The 53rd annual National Summer Arms Show is coming to the KCI Expo Center this weekend only. Details online at nationalsummerarmshow.com.
The Other Place now has 5 great Kansas City locations: Shawnee, Olathe, Downtown Overland Park, Mission, and now Belton. An outdoor bar, large fire pit, great food and beer specials, the perfect place to catch the game. Go stop by The Other Place this summer, your baseball headquarters.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation, because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no 2 cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and now North Kansas City.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco. 13 years ago, my friend Matt Moore opened Martin City Brewing Company on Main Street in Martin City. Now, more than a decade later, they have 5 pizza and taproom locations around the metro and that original pub still in Martin City. The folks at Martin City Brewing Company brew up over a dozen beers, serve over 20 specialty pizzas, and have a VIP beer club that keeps you up to date on beer releases and specials. For date night, family night, game night, or any night, folks young and old love Martin City Brewing Company.
Hi, it's Trey Smith, and in order for our team to get a victory, we need honesty, teamwork, work ethic, humility, and the golden rule. That's why my truck is from the dealer that embodies all those values, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also supports Giving Hope, whose sole purpose is to feed and clothe the needy in Wyandotte County and beyond. Giving back in the highest integrity, that's how Jeff and his team do business. For your next vehicle, visit or go to VictoryChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com.
The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character to nominate today.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000. Or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com. And I look forward to working with you.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
You're listening to 610 Sports Radio from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey Royals fans, this is Matt Quattrero. Catch my interview with Bob and Josh every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock on your home of the Royals, 610 Sports Radio.
KCSP Kansas City, WDAF HD2 Liberty, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Goldheader talking on breaks like you got scripted plays.
It's just like Andy Reid. I'm ready to go. I got my scripted, my first 15, more like first 5, but I got my first 5 for the tournament today in NCAA football. I can tell you right now what format, I can picture it. What formation, what the play is, play 1, and then I know what
You're moving wide receivers to running back. You're doing everything.
I don't do that. That's not going on. But I found out the guy that I'm playing in the first round of our tournament is playing as Texas.
Horns down.
That's right. Horns down. The
Horns
whole
down.
game. The whole
Bad
game.
squad.
The whole game.
You got to do it to start. Horns down. Just because it's not in the game doesn't mean it's not in your life.
That's right.
If I remember right, the SEC didn't say anything about horns down.
Yeah, they're going to allow teams to do it.
They will allow it.
Well,
yes.
they should. It's not like some slur or something. It's a horns down. Absolutely, it's allowed. So no, looking forward to. But yes, we were joking during the break.
Is that what you're going to do if you win?
Horns down. I'm going to do it after a touchdown. What are you talking about? I assume I scored a touchdown.
Don't do the touchdown if it's 17 now 7.
No. But
be cool about it, man. Be cool.
No, but I do. I mean, I'll mix it up. I've played Drew. Drew kind of knows, but I mean, I'll mix it up. But I do. I have. It's not. I don't do the same play over and over. I'm not one of those people. But the first 5 plays of the game, yeah, I could actually, if I had to write them down, I can do that for you.
Goodness.
Yeah. I know the first 5.
You could write them down?
Yeah, I know I got scripted out. I got the first 5 if I wanted to write it down.
He could draw the play on what exactly is going to happen. That's not even the name of it.
I'll just tell you, Mr. Texas, I'm open up in pistol formation. We're open up in pistol, full house formation. That's how we're starting the game.
How are you going to start, Cody?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Goal line offense.
Goal line. Halfback dive.
Fullback dives. That's what we're doing.
Yep. I want to see if I can get him 3.5 yards a time.
I'm wasting this clock. That's what you're saying.
Dude, the kid I'm playing has played like 40. Like he said 35 earlier. He's probably still been playing
all day.
He might be at 40 by the time we play this.
Sean, who I'm playing, said he's been playing on Heisman mode. So he's trying to play on a more difficult mode. So this will seem easy for him today. I don't know if that works, but I like the strategy, Sean. I like the strategy. Rob Jones is playing CDOT, says go Buckeyes. So Carrington's going up against the Buckeyes. We'll see if CDOT plays as Mizzou.
There should have been a rule where you can't, where the team that it would make it a lot more interesting.
What do you want? You don't want them to pick good teams?
No. If everybody, if you had to pick like no better than a 3 to 3.5 star team, like you're not taking Georgia. Sorry, you're not taking Georgia.
Well, the way they do it in the game is they split it up to tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3. So you wanted everybody to have to be tier 2?
Tier 2. No tier 1s.
Whoever they want. Let everybody be whoever
tier
they want.
1s.
Everybody can be whoever the hell they want. Just the only rule is if you can't play as duplicate teams. So
is that a rule?
Yes.
You got that rule instituted?
Yes.
Georgia can't play Georgia.
Correct. So if Georgia can't play
so
Georgia,
who gets the
rock,
choice
paper,
of team?
scissors.
Oh. Why don't you just flip a coin?
Or flip a coin. Fine. Whatever, man. Whatever. Whatever century-old way we've determined how to figure out tiebreakers.
I want to do one of those like intense professional slap fights.
Oh my gosh.
A guy like knocked out.
He's like, his hand goes.
Jeez. Those things.
Yeah.
That's how I want to determine.
Anyway,
it, you know?
hope to see you guys out there. Even if you're not in the tournament.
Come hang out.
We're all having fun. We're excited for it. You can come hang out. We'll
Can I
have
just go home after I lose in the first
You
round?
can if you want. You and I have to hop on the drive at times, I think, today. And then
I was going to say, are we? I mean, if that does happen, is there or do we have to be there?
I mean,
I don't know if there's
I'm not the boss. Yeah, you leave. I don't know. I don't know. It's a
I
station
don't know if
event.
there's
I'm
any
guessing we need to
stipulations.
stay.
I'm assuming I'm supposed to stay a
That's
little
what
while.
I thought.
But no, we're going to have fun, and we'll have an extra TV set up. So if you want to play, even if you're not in the tournament, hang out, and we'll have a good time.
I'd like to get. Can I get dibs? Just like at 2:30, can I get one game in on one of the?
Asking me.
So I can just like know how the controls work. I don't even have to play a full game. I just want to like snap a ball or hit a kick. I'm going down.
Do whatever you need to do, man. Again, Xbox and PlayStation, there's random. I think it's random on that. Like you just get lucky that you happen to be on the selected. Hey, this is the available console. So
it's not the end of the world, but I do hope I get PlayStation, and you hope you get Xbox as well.
Yeah, that's what I've played on. So we'll see.
Yeah, I obviously hope I get.
Xbox. You had someone ask you a question.
I did
that
yesterday.
You want to ask me now?
Yesterday on Twitch, I got asked by Legend whether or not he said specifically, he was like, "Look, I'll be honest with you. I shouldn't be, but I am worried that the reintroduction of the deep passing game by Patrick Mahomes might actually bring back some of the bad habits that came from not taking what the defense gave you." And you probably remember there was a stretch of time when Mahomes would, I don't know, once a game, once every other game, get a little greedy, Gold. Send that ball downfield into an area or double coverage. It didn't need to go. And the last couple of years, he's kind of eliminated that from his game because he hasn't had anywhere to go deep. Is there any fear at all for you that there's like a regression back to the mean of the greedy Mahomes comes back into play? Or is he just now the Terminator in the sense that he knows how to do both, ergo will do both? Because I think he's dead. I think the second he gets a taste of the deep ball again, it's back. And he is going to force a few deep to try to get that part back into their game, which is fine. Honestly, I don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, will there be a couple examples of where he gets greedy with it? Yeah, I'm sure, but the payoff is worth it if suddenly you have extended the defense and you have a legit deep threat in Hollywood Brown and or Xavier Worthy. But will he have a moment where he gets greedy? Yeah, I think that's fair. That can happen. Also, though, when you look at the progression of his career. Look, Cody, he's just a better quarterback than he was 2 years ago.
Way better.
Right? I mean, he's still not even 30 years old yet. So I think there's a balance. We'll be sitting here randomly during a game or after a game like, man, he shouldn't have thrown that and, just take the dump off or whatever. Yeah, probably. I'm sure. I don't know, maybe now makes me want to look at his over-under set for interceptions this year to see if actually you should take the over. It doesn't mean he would have a bad year, but maybe that's to your point.
Maybe that's the thing worth betting.
But no, I just think he's a better quarterback. Now he's got everything. He's had a win in more ways now than he had a win 3 years ago.
Yeah, he has. In which case, sure. But I also think that he's just kind of hungry for it. Not just because, we talked about this yesterday, the determined to be great thing. Mahomes has definitely got that. But it's like, I think he's got to miss it. Look at these first couple of days at camp. Every part of it has just been like, watch me hit this absolute dart 50 yards down the field to Hollywood Brown. Watch me twist my body around to throw the ball 65 yards down to Xavier Worthy. It gets boring. There are quarterbacks who genuinely, I think Tom Brady wasn't bored by the precision. I don't think he was bored by the 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. He would have taken 5 yards all day, 100 times in a row, no questions asked. Didn't even seem like it bothered him. La, 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 la. Mahomes, a couple times even last year when there's no deep ball, it just seems like he's like, no. I so desperately want to throw the ball down there because it makes every part of my life and everyone's life easier. He just do it. So it feels like maybe it becomes not really even for him. Do they get over-focused on the idea that it's back, the deep ball's back, that the offense isn't quite as in tune, or it has to do with the last couple of years, which is reinvent itself over the first 8 weeks where sometimes it feels clunky? Because there's been times in the last couple of years where they're not a bad offense, but it feels like the gears aren't lined up and problems are still existing inside of that. And I'm thinking that maybe the deep ball is going to do that again.
My guess is during preseason, the very limited action that we're going to see from Mahomes in preseason, in those games, they should just be. He should be greedy in those games. Like in preseason, can show it. Like show it early.
Find out what you can do.
Look against Baltimore in the opener. I'm not saying that the first play of the game they're taking a deep shot, but that'd be kind of fun. That would be a typical Andy Reid. First play of the game,
70-yard touchdown
First
pass.
play of the game. Let's just stretch the field and just see what happens. Like that. If it was a video game, that's what you would do.
It's going to be the first play against the Bengals. It's going to be that.
Against in real life, I don't know. They'll probably not take a deep shot till later in the game or something. You know what I mean? But I'm excited. I think we all are to see the offense hopefully get somewhat close to what it was a couple of years ago because of the deep threat. And yeah, there'll be a mistake he makes, but I just think he's a better quarterback. He's learned from having to win in different ways now. In a weird way, we could look back 5-10 years from now and say, man, that really rough 2023 where they won the Super Bowl
was so important for him.
Was so important though for his continued progression.
Because the other side of this is like I just said, he's the Terminator. He's an unstoppable force. Because if it's Happy learned to putt and it's just all the same thing where it's just like, oh no, now I can do both. When you play shell coverage and give me everything underneath, I'll do that to you. And if you slip up once, you get a little too close to the line of scrimmage once, I'm going to burn your ass. Mm-hmm. The opposite side of that is he's an unstoppable force of nature. And look, if you made me guess which of the two things is more likely to happen with Patrick Mahomes, he reverts to some bad habits or is an unstoppable force of nature, I'll be honest with you, going unstoppable because his history has suggested that that's the case. I do think there might be a relearning curve, that's all.
Someone mentioned this on the text line and the impact this has on the defense. I think it's fair. I mean, you'll take the offense, but this could also be, if you're thinking about the regression at all defensively, they go from a top 3 defense to fall back to, let's say, the 7th or 8th best. Some of it could just be personnel, right? Maybe we find out you don't have Snead, and so there's a challenge replacing a great player, and that ends up being in the issue. Or is it that the offense is so much better, they're scoring more, you're in more shootouts, naturally the defense is more susceptible? I think that could happen. Don't you think? We've seen that play out before, where your offense, the possessions that you're asking your defense to play and how quickly you're asking versus sustained drives. I'll always take the offense just being dominant. But
same. It's the easier way to win.
But defensively, there's a chance that could also the defense could seem not as optimal as it was a year ago because of that, as much as losing Snead.
I guess I hadn't looked back through that. How many possessions compared to other that would be something interesting to look up. How many possessions did the defense have to have versus other teams in the NFL? Because to your point, because of the Chiefs for a long time last year were playing this the Chiefs had 2 full possessions in the entire half of football, right? The way I'm trying to play in the NCAA tournament today. I'm trying to get
Cody's
2 possessions for the whole game. I'm trying to play Iowa
Cody's
football.
Cody's going to run the play clock down to 1 second before
You'll
every
be that
snap.
guy.
Dude, what choice do I have? I am competitive. It's just hard to be competitive in something where you can't win. Do you know?
That's why having the
there's
practice
no
games is so
chance.
key.
There's not even a scenario in which, unless they just throw a pitch to the computer.
You never know. Mistakes happen. Also, the game will randomly have someone fumble on a kickoff return for no reason. So
it doesn't take long to look this up, by the way. The Chiefs only had to their defense was on the field for 1,045 plays, the 8th least.
Okay, there you go.
So score faster, more defensive plays. More defensive plays, more possibilities for mistakes, more chance for points, more possessions for the other team. So yeah, there might be a little bit of a regression, but you and I have both said we'll take the balance. Teams with the most possessions on defense were not very good defenses, if we're being honest. Chargers, Commanders, Colts, Ravens are pretty good defense.
Mm-hmm.
They were 5th most. But, some teams that were a bit civvy in the defensive department last year were certainly on the field more than these other teams. They were also probably just on the field more than those other teams because people chewed them up and stayed on the field against them versus the Chiefs got probably more 3-and-outs than a lot of those teams. Not just what your offense did. It's a little of both. Someone says, they're both just dominating the 3 people. Look, nothing would make us happier. Alex and I have gotten to, by some stroke of luck, start hosting this show the year the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl. They won, and we've gotten to go to 3. I'd love nothing more than a 3-peat because then it puts Mahomes as maybe the greatest quarterback of all time, but he's definitely the 2nd best quarterback of all time, which he might already be, depending on whether you want to have an argument over Joe Montana or not. And even if you have Joe Montana now, if I said, but predict who will be ahead of the other. By the time they're done, we're all going to take Patrick Mahomes, not just because we're in Kansas City, but because every part of the momentum he has.
If he wins, you're going 4 out of 5 and a 3-peat. Three-peat's never been done.
4 and 5 is ludicrous.
That helps close the gap, as we've discussed with the Brady argument. I still always think the head-to-head thing is going to really hurt, but maybe the three-peat balances that out. If you finish with 5 or 6 instead of 7, but you have the three-peat, that's why the debates are fun. But that'll be the conversation. You'll have a stronger argument if you three-peat. Because that's something Brady just didn't do.
So from like a 4-time Super Bowl MVP.
Historical implication. Yeah,
I still think he's the best now. The reason I say he's not because everybody's got their opinion. The reason I think that he is the greatest now is because what you're arguing is legacy. It's not. It's more of
not talent.
Yes, it's
to me. Those are sometimes like different arguments. If you say greatest of all time, legacy counts.
I think. Well, yes, but I think there's got to be a balance where Patrick Mahomes already has enough of a legacy with his talent. He is the best quarterback ever. Where if you're just taking legacy for what it is, then if you took legacy for the basketball argument, Bill Russell is the best of all time because he's got the most rings. And he's got the better legacy in terms of all of that he's done. But he's not the most talented basketball player that you've ever seen. I think that's where, with the football argument, Patrick Mahomes does things that we have never seen before. And he's got the Super Bowls. And they won last year with a roster that is like, you could argue, Tom Brady's roster is before, where he's thrown to Chris Hogan and Deion Branch, et cetera, go down the line. I think that they're very comparable, but Mahomes is the better quarterback. Yeah. He just doesn't quite have the 7-ring legacy that Brady does.
So I guess 4 out of 6. Sorry, I said 4 out of 5. Whatever. But yes,
everybody's
correct.
got their own opinion though with this.
Way to hyperinflate what he's accomplished.
Look, I think though, Drew, I hear what you're saying. And obviously the Bill Russell point is one that gets brought up a lot. It's very fair.
Sure.
The question of like most athletic, most talented, that's clear. That's already done. I think that's what you're leaning into more, obviously.
That factors in more to me than just the legacy, especially in a team sport.
I will say in almost every sports argument, I agree with you. I think we favor championships, especially in team sports and all those things, probably unfairly to a point. But when you were talking about the argument for the single greatest player to have ever played that sport,
right,
I think then you have to factor it in. Like, it's hard to ignore it. It has its own bearing in the conversation. And again, I don't think it has to be 1 for 1. I don't think you have to have the same number of them, but you got to be in the ballpark, in the range, in the vicinity. You got to be somewhere near that range. Otherwise, we're just not.
I mean, who's even in the conversation with? Is it just Mahomes and it's Brady, or is there? I mean, is there?
Yeah. Because the other guys are retired, so no.
Well, yeah, but legacy-wise, I think you could argue if you're talking about legacy compared to quarterback play. Do you say that, I don't know, throw out any other name that's been around? Terry Bradshaw, I would say no. But, like, who else is in the conversation when we're talking about that, about greatest quarterback? Or is
just Joe Montana. Mm-hmm. I mean, it used to be Joe Montana, and then one day Tom Brady passed him, and then that was it. The conversation was over then, and there was no debate. The conversation was Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. I mean, like, people call him a cheater and all that stuff, and that's fair, but, it's not going to cut it off enough to do that. Once he passed Montana, there was no debate until now. Mm-hmm. Mahomes is giving them a chance to reopen the debate. You and I, Gold, do not think that there's you could have the debate, but I don't think it's an easy one to have, if that makes sense right now.
Somebody brought up from the 913, comparing Mahomes to Brady is like comparing Tiger Woods to Jack Nicklaus. You can count rings all you want, but you know what you're looking at. That's my thing is, because
will that be the consensus opinion though? Like
but Tiger's not getting blown out, Like,
yeah, but Tiger would. I don't think Tiger would have ever caught Jack Nicklaus because the sport of golf is so much more competitive than it was. I don't think he would have ever caught him at 18.
He also did things that no other golfer did.
Correct.
His stretch of like 4 or 5 years of dominance has never been seen.
That's what I think. And Brady had the dominance there, but it's different with Patrick Mahomes. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like it's different with Patrick, where even when he's down, like, and maybe that's the way that people thought about Brady too, but even when he's down, Mahomes still makes a play, still finds a way, and you're like, damn, he's just so good. And I think that's what makes him better than Brady, in my opinion.
Well, he's definitely more talented. And he's not a cheater to this
Somebody
point.
said Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas. There's always
the cheating thing will come like when the dust settles and
that's what'll help Mahomes.
Mahomes is retired and let's
I think it helps Andy out more.
Let's
than
say
him, though.
absolutely. I think because people will look more as Belichick as the cheater with Spygate and all that versus Brady, where ultimately, I know we still joke about it, but the Deflategate thing turned out to be a bunch of BS. Like,
sure,
they would have won the game even with the
Spygate stuff, though. That was all Belichick, and that's
a massive
fair
advantage to the quarterback
no
if the quarterback knows what they're going to call.
I still think that was more of a Belichick creation, though, right? And so that to
him
me,
being the reason why it happened it hurts Belichick more, I think. Yeah, for sure. Somebody said, is Lance Armstrong still considered one of the greatest cyclists? No.
No, he cheated.
Flat out, just PEDs and roids.
He cheated every time. That's a little different. He cheated for every race.
That was the argument for, I think, in Barry Bonds' case, he was so good before the steroid stuff happened.
He's a Hall of Famer with the stats before.
Correct.
Yep.
But also everyone in baseball. Like, that would be like if everybody if half of football was using a deflated football. Like, it's just like, or 2/3 of football. Like, I mean, literally everyone was using steroids. They weren't alone. It was the entire sport. Like, that's the part I have with that, is like, it was everybody.
Yeah, Lance Armstrong. Screw that guy. Ugh. Honestly. Seriously.
Imagine going
Remember
back
when everybody was wearing the yellow Live Strong bands?
It was Live Strong Stadium.
It was a great storyline.
That was the first name on the stadium. Oh, and it was great. I mean, and I still think
the cause, all of it.
We step away, like they still did raise millions and millions of dollars for cancer research, which was a great thing.
So really, you should say his cheating is good. It raised money for cancer research. You know?
Yeah.
Turns out he is kind of full of it.
I still always think of the dodgeball movie scene.
Yeah.
That's all I think of. Back before we all knew he was a cheater.
You know, that was when he was America's darling.
Yeah.
He was it would be the same, like, the way he won. It's the only time any of us have ever cared about cycling.
Yeah, someone says that everybody was using steroids. Argument applies for Armstrong, too. Every cyclist was on
a
roids.
lot of people dope. Like, that sport had a mass. It gave away like 70 titles in a row, seemingly, because of doping. So, maybe. To your point, maybe. But I don't follow that sport enough, so I don't care. He also just kind of seems like a jerk. Does that make sense?
Did you watch the 30 for 30 and there's a bunch of other ones? Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like he was kind of bullied.
No, he's an ass. He's an ass.
Seemed like not
But
great.
also a lot of great athletes are, unfortunately.
He comes across like a do you not know who I am guy. Like that in any sort of a setting would be.
Yeah.
He comes across as that guy.
Yeah, I would say it was a bit off-putting, I would say. But, you know, everyone's a little bit different.
Can you name a current cycler? The Olympics are coming. Could you name a current cycler?
Mark Cavendish.
Is he still cycling?
Yes.
That's a name from like 10 years ago.
He was in the Tour de France.
He's in the Olympics coming up?
I don't know about the Olympics, but he was in the Tour de France. I loved when they had NBC Sports Network because you didn't have to go and find the Tour de France. It was just there.
You watched the Tour de France recently?
Yeah, I watched it. I don't watch
it.
it. I don't watch it live. I'll go back. I would go back and I'd watch it like later at night when they did the reruns. I would just have it on more as background noise, but I would watch.
All right, hold on.
Particularly the last couple miles.
I looked up the cycling world rankings, so this will really tell you.
Thank you for that.
If you know any of these
I forget
guys.
who won it. I forget his name.
Tadej Pogačar is the number one from Slovenia.
So that person's winning gold medal at the Olympics.
Jasper Philipsen from Belgium is the number 2. Matthew Van Der Poel from the Netherlands. The top U.S. ranked is number 5 overall, Matteo Jorgensen.
Are they still like the USPS Postal Service team? Is that still a
Hard to
thing?
say. I don't know.
I don't think they're sponsoring things anymore these days. What's that?
I said probably after the Lance Armstrong thing, they probably, maybe get your name off of that, I guess.
Cavendish won most stages of all time, 35. There you go.
I don't even see him on this list. He stinks, dude. He's washed. Your guy's washed.
Okay. No. But hold on. The question, the question was, who is it? Who can you name one biker or one cyclist in the Tour de France? Yes, Cavendish.
I'm just gonna say it based on countries, the French and Slovenia, pretty good cyclists.
And what's the name of the event? No, not that one. Tour de France.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though they started in
French, pretty good. They got a lot of guys in this top 20, 30 list.
Even though, if I remember right, this year they started in Italy.
Belgium also really, really up there on the list, holding their own.
Well, Drew, I think we each need to have a sport assigned during the Olympics that you have to become an expert of. And so if you want to take cycling,
in there?
Let me do track and field.
That's not an event. That's like 50 events.
I'll run down.
I'm saying that
100, 200.
Like Cody can be the breakdancing expert. First year in the Olympics, breakdancing.
Yes.
Someone else can be the 400-meter breaststroke expert. And you need to tell us everything about that event.
I will take the 100 and 200. Have you guys watched the Sprint documentary on Netflix?
I have not.
It's so good.
You can be the expert and fill us in throughout the Olympics on how the 100 and 200 meter dashes are going.
And a Sha'Carri.
I don't know what sport I want or what event. I don't know. Figure something out.
Water polo.
I'll do all the research you want me
I
to
do
look
like
up.
water polo. Water polo is a fun event to watch.
Okay. I got to look up who's the favorite to win the breakdancing Olympic medal.
Is it an American or no?
God, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking it up.
I'm going to say it's somebody from Europe, I bet. The top ranked
Why do you say that,
breakdancer.
Drew? You don't think we're good enough in America? So it is? Why? We can't dance? You don't think we can dance here?
No.
No?
Hate your country, man? Is that what this is? There's so many different age groups.
What do you? Oh yeah, Drew, you missed. So when Dusty was filling in, you know how Dusty does them thing. Yeah, Drew picked up, so now Drew does it all the time.
I do it more than I. Yeah, I don't even notice it sometimes.
Looks like a girl from China is the favorite.
Is she old enough to compete? I can say that. Sorry, it's a fair thing with China and the Olympics.
She's the top female breaker.
Okay.
Is it
China.
co-ed?
Li Qingwei admits to Japan is her biggest rival, according to this, but she has several world championships. She's the favorite, dude.
Is it a co-ed competition or is it male female?
I'm just looking up the female odds right now. I got to figure out which one.
Somebody texted in though. We need to get into trap shooting. So one of the gentlemen named Derek lives in Paola, Kansas.
I tell you what. The breaking sleeper, according to this betting article, plus 2,000, our girl Sunny Choi from the USA. That's our gal.
Okay.
Somebody said updates in English accents. I don't think.
True. There you go.
I'm done. I'm done doing the accent stuff. We're gonna take a break from that. I was getting tired of myself.
Up next, we'll get to what's trending and one player that might save himself a roster spot because of what's going on at camp.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
On your official broadcast partner of the Chiefs, 610 Sports Radio.
I knew there had to be a better way to get relief from joint pain aside from surgery and harmful medications.
That's football legend and dancing champ Emmitt Smith, who knows a thing or two about joint pain.
Turns out I was right. It's called QC Kinetics, and now tens of thousands of patients and counting all across the country, they're feeling amazing. They say, hey, Emmitt, you were right.
QC Kinetics zeroed in on a technology that is revolutionizing pain treatment. They are transforming patients' lives. The largest provider of non-surgical regenerative treatments using natural healing properties to help restore and repair aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. Call them today for your free consultation.
QC Kinetics. I knew there had to be a better way. I love it when I'm right.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Are you in need of top quality metal for your next project? Look no further than Metal by the Foot. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Steel, aluminum, brass, and stainless. The Foot. Blue Demon Welding Supplies, filler rods, and wire. The Foot. Bronius Professional Welding Equipment, Service and Repairs. The Foot. Located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Summer is the season of splurging. Don't compromise. Round up your crew and head over to Twin Peaks to watch your favorite sports and save big on some of your favorite food and beverage menu items. Summer savings are going on now at your favorite local lodge. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's back to school time and fall is right around the corner. That means you're going to want to look and feel your best when you're getting ready to do all of those fall activities. In fact, for the first time in years, I feel great, and I'm happy to say that I look and feel wonderful because of the folks over at Supplement Superstores. But it wasn't like that a year ago. I was sluggish. My workouts weren't great, and I was carrying around extra weight. I'm thinking to myself, I got to lose some weight. So I stopped by Supplement Superstores and told them I wanted to lose about 10 to 15 pounds. They said, no problem, we can handle that. 9 months later, I'm down 30 pounds. There isn't a day that goes by where someone doesn't tell me how great I look and I love them for it. I'm taking the Flashpoint Complex. It's a refreshing drink in the morning that gives me sustained energy all day long, and then a refreshing drink at night that helps me recover and get the best sleep of my life. So stop into any of the 8 Kansas City area supplement superstores. Tell them I sent you. You'll get 20% off the Flashpoint Complex. Supplement superstores when you're ready to feel your best.
We pour our hearts into our outdoor spaces, our sanctuaries for family and friends to gather and make lasting memories. This is Larry Ryan at Ryan Lawn and Tree. Summer is when we enjoy our outdoor spaces the most. Unfortunately, uninvited bugs and pests do also. While our Mosquito Guard program defends against mosquitoes, your trees and shrubs need protection too. Bagworms, mites, and Japanese beetles are back, hungry and interested in making a meal of your beautiful garden and favorite trees. Give us a call or visit ryanlawn.com. Our certified tree experts will assess your needs. If there's an issue, we'll tackle it immediately to preserve your outdoor investment. If not, we'll guide you on preventive measures. Shield your trees and plants from harmful insects. Enjoy a worry-free summer outdoors with Ryan Lawn and Tree. Call or visit ryanlawn.com today.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's trending?
All right, let's check in on the hot topics trending.
Number 1 on What's Trending, the Royals have won 4 in a row. They continue their series tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 7:10 first pitch. Alec Marsh on the bump. Vern's on deck. Show starts at 6 right here on 610 Sports Radio. We, of course, throughout the show today have talked about last night. And honestly, it was fun, wasn't it? Like, these games mean something. The adrenaline is pumping. The crowd starts chanting Salvi's name as he's backing up Bobby Witt Jr., who gets hit by a pitch, 1 hit shy of the cycle. Yeah, you're starting to have the same fall feelings that we had in 14 and 15 at Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, I really, really wanted. It's been so long since they had a cycle and so long since they had a no-hitter. They got 2 of the longest streaks in all of the sports, so I was kind of hoping for that. But yeah, I mean, I get I wish they wouldn't have hit him, but I love that it creates a little bit of that heat. Next up on What's Trending, news around camp. The only guy who seems like he's left holding out is Jets' Hassan Reddick, who reportedly wants a new contract and is not planning to report to training camp. Look, you remember Chris Jones held out and paid the fines, $50,000 per day for each day of the holdout. which is why you're seeing everyone else show up. Cortland Sutton is showing up. Brandon Ayuk is showing up. So these other players across the league are starting to show up and are expected to report to camp, even though they're in the middle of new contract negotiations. The one guy who seems like he's willing to pay the $50K, Hassan Reddick, at least for the time being, paid off for Chris Jones in the long run. Did not pay it off for him for the 1 year, but eventually he got his big payday, so he probably doesn't care.
As far as the Chiefs go, not a whole lot of news out today. Just the continued update where Xavier Worthy sits on his injury status, missing practice, illness, and now we know it's due to strep throat. I think it was Matt Derrick that initially had reported that. So it sounds like, I don't know, maybe he's back there tomorrow. We're at camp tomorrow. We'll see if he's out there. Be following our social media. And then, of course, we're live at 10 o'clock tomorrow from camp. The only station in Kansas City broadcasting live from Chiefs training camp, 610 Sports Radio and Cody and Gold. But not any new news other than that really out of camp today.
Nope. Next up on Watch Training, the NFL and NFLPA have had high-level discussions, according to multiple reports, over a potential 18-game schedule. A lot of stuff to hammer out. I think some of it was reporting like the players might be more inclined to just move the season up a week and then lose some of the off-season training stuff. The NFL seems like they'd rather just start the season at the same time and then go up towards President's Day. So there's a couple or Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
No, you're right.
President's Day.
Yeah.
So a little bit of movement maybe on which way they might want to go on that. All I've said on this is if you're the NFLPA and you're having very serious conversation with the NFL, you better ask for the world. Have them eliminate an entire off-season training program. Have them give you 2 bye weeks. You can ask, this is the best time you've ever had if you're a team to get everything. Because at 18, they'll stop for a while. They won't have, you won't have for a while.
I mean,
I don't think it'll come as quick as 17 to 18. Does that make sense?
Maybe so. They're so greedy. We know this. I think you were gone when Drew and I were going back and forth about Joe Burrow's comments because he had basically already was willing to already talk about the hypothetical. And I was saying, like, whether it's Burrow, whether it's anybody else, who was it today? Juwan Taylor for the Chiefs was asked about the 18th game and was like, oh,
everybody's
asked
asked about it today.
And I get it. And they're not going to be able to stop it, I guess. But, like, I think it's already a bad leverage position for the players union when their players are so openly like, oh, look, I'm just here. I'll just play whatever they tell, I'll just play. Whereas they should be like, no, we believe 17 games is enough. At least take a steadfast position. Every player that is talked about is like, yeah, we have 18 games. We should do this. Like, they're not even shutting down the idea of 18, and you could say they can't. Well, they can if they really wanted to. They're not going to, clearly. But they always lose these CBA negotiations. They worry about something that doesn't actually matter. A couple of years ago, the NFL acted like it was a huge deal to stop marijuana testing. Should have stopped a long time ago. The players gave them way more than the marijuana testing. The owners really didn't care about that. The owners don't care about whatever they're going to give up for the 18th game. Oh, less preseason? Oh, you think the owners actually care about that if they're getting an 18th game? No.
No, that's the freebie. That's just a schedule thing. That's just how scheduling works. That's not something you're asking for. If they give you that, fine. If they want to hold on to the extra preseason game, it means nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take that. Get actual, tangible things.
That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. In about 20 minutes, check-in starts over at Hy-Vee Arena for the college football video game tournament.
There's a lot of people on the text line trying to figure it out.
Let's do that again. So Hy-Vee Arena, obviously just plug that bad boy in the old GPS. Hy-Vee Arena. I don't know the address. Park on the north side, okay? North side of Hy-Vee Arena, you're going to walk up the stairs. On the northwest side of the arena, you're going to see a sign for Level Up. You walk right in those doors, and the drive will be broadcasting live at 2. All of us will be hopping on their show a little bit. Games start at 3. Check-in starts at 2. We had multiple people say, hey, I can't be there till 2:15. All good. Check-ins from 2 to 3.
Real quick, regarding the schedule conversation, they wouldn't go to 19 games, correct? They would just make the jump from 18 to 20.
I believe so.
I don't think they'll do the same thing they did last time where they tried to. I think they wish now they would have just asked for 18. But I don't think that they thought that they were going to get it
when
approved
it's coming.
at that time,
it would jump to 20, or when that conversation comes up, whenever it may be.
Like what level do you? Some would argue it already is happening. What level do you get to with the games, Drew, where it actually is too many in sort of hurting the product? I know we now can say, we don't, Thursday Night Football hurts the product, but deep down it's not. Right now the ratings are better than ever and all this stuff. So
product's horse though. I think there's less good football.
20 is too many.
But when does it, like, I get it.
When is it tangible, like you can taste it?
Yeah.
Probably 20.
Right? I think there is a limit, and they're gonna push it.
Or more teams.
They're gonna push it.
I think the bigger issue would be expansion. Because I think that would tangibly affect the product more, because we already don't get a lot of good quarterback play. You tacked on 2 expansion teams or a 4-team European division.
Bad offensive line play.
I was going to say, I think
bad left tackle play, bad wide receiver, maybe not bad quarterback play. That's when you're like, there's a lot of gross football out here.
If they do expand, it makes. Doesn't it make more sense to do 4 teams? Because at that point, you're screwing the divisions up because everything's so even now. You got 8 divisions, you got 4 teams in the division. It all makes sense. If you expand 2, where do those 2 teams go? All of a sudden, you've got a 5-team, 2 5-team divisions. What is the? I think it makes sense for you to do a international division or a new division, if you will, I guess, and try to figure out where to put it.
Someone texted in 913-586-7610, said they make millions. One game isn't anything. We're talking about the product part of it, not whether or not the dollar amount.
Load management.
They will
how
make
long?
More money eventually.
Not per. They don't get. It's not a per game. It's not like one more game automatically. It means they just get more money that game. It's just eventually the rights for the TV,
revenue sharing portion
goes
of
up.
it.
Yeah.
I do think 20 games though introduces the possibility of you load managing other positions, not the quarterback, but
other positions.
You might load manage.
Might already happen now.
You're going to load manage your running back more often with 20 games. Like Pacheco, not that he's going to get a game off, but he's going to be used very decisively over a 4-game stretch more than it would be, hey, you know what, he's just going to be playing as if he normally would for this 4-game stretch now with 17.
I think so. I mean, if they get to 18, you'll start to see that with more guys that are hurt. I mean, the Chiefs kind of do this recently because they know their seasons are going 18, 19, 20 games because of the postseason, where if you're a Nick Bolton, who maybe you're eligible to come back from IR end of November, but you're like, we know we got a whole lot of games still to go. We'll hold them out an extra week or 2. Like, we already see the Chiefs kind of do that. Not, as you said, with Mahomes but other players like Justin Reed right now, who's on the non-football illness list, a quad injury. We all think he's going to maybe miss all of camp. If he's not 100% week 1, there is zero reason to play in week 1. You know, you got another 20 games to play this year. You know what I mean?
Much like the former Survivor contest she's doing here. The Drive, once again, is given unfair advantages this show aren't.
Oh, gosh.
610 Sports Radio sent out a tweet of the behind the scenes of the upcoming gaming contest, and Rob and Carrington are actively playing a game. Nonsense!
I mean,
nonsense!
You should, you know what, Cody? You should get a practice game. You, Dusty, and Bank should be allowed to practice and play one time.
The games that there's listeners that have been playing during the day today. I mean, people that have the console or whatever, of course, have an advantage.
The timing of this event is a fraud. You know what? I'm playing my game in protest. But they have all day to practice. I'd had to get up at 4 in the morning to play.
They just got there. Other listeners are playing right now if they wanted to.
You should have an argument where you, Bink, and Dusty, and whoever else hasn't played the game yet should be able to get one practice game, exhibition.
Yeah, Dusty and I can just play each other in an exhibition game.
Yes.
on the extra TV.
That's fine.
It only seems fair, you know. That only seems fair. That way I can learn the controls.
I'm going to quote tweet this and say, Cody Tapp is not happy. He's already arguing.
I'm playing it under protest. This will not go on my permanent record. I'll be 0-0-0 in the game.
Oh,
the second it ends.
Hang on.
You know?
No, I know.
Won't matter.
If you play Carrington or Rob, then it should count. Then you can use that card. But you're playing against somebody who, like Gold said, they're just
that
a regular
guy's probably
person.
grinding right now.
Yeah,
and you're
but
right. I can't control that.
Correct.
But I can control...
if you play Carrington or Rob, that whatever happens, it won't count, even if you beat them. Based on what you're saying.
Tough to say. Their wins also don't count. They'll get no wins or losses either.
Oh,
Bink's here. Yeah, I get to turn him. Bink's. I just
Bink, what are you doing, man? Check-ins at 2.
You're in the wrong building, Bink. You're in the wrong building.
Oh,
he knows
it's Ivy Arena, man. The tournament's not here.
You're going to give Bink a ride.
That's fine if I have to. I don't care. My car is like the smallest of the bunch. It's going to be way more challenging. Like, out of all the cars, you have the biggest car. Way more comfortable.
Drive?
He drives a 4-door like a smaller 4-door like me, but his is still probably roomier.
I do not
Mine
have
is
an
the
SUV.
smallest of the 3 of our cars. Yours is the biggest.
Oh, look at me.
The car is, yep. There you go.
Someone said they haven't played a game today for your sake.
Someone says, Cody, it's the price you pay for having a family and a steady job. They're getting in the way.
No, believe me, there are people
stopping me.
There are people who are denying their family to play this game out there. There are absolutely people.
That's a problem.
My wife
yes,
was
it
nice.
is a problem, but there are people.
She did say, do you need to buy this game? That's what she said. I said, oh, I'd have to buy a whole new system. She's like, do you even want to do that? And I was like, so that was you could buy this, right?
Great, yes.
That's
that
essentially
that was your in.
If you needed this, but I was just trying to I know. The problem was, if I'm going to buy a whole new system for one game, I had to be ready to be in it. I got some plans for the next 4 months.
The text line is correct that before their show all week, they both have been playing the PlayStation here, so it's no different, Cody. Unless you think the venue change is important. Unless you think the venue change is...
Gold,
How much time do they have to constantly be playing video games
We
here?
might...
You and I don't have time to be playing video games around our show.
That's a whole different conversation.
What the hell's going on here?
That's a whole different conversation and can of worms.
Well, Gold, this might be the argument for us. While Cody and Dusty and Bink haven't played the game, there was a big update today. I don't know what the update had. If it was gameplay, I don't know if it was gameplay. I don't know if it was. I don't know. All I'm saying is that all of a sudden something might be a little bit different that you're used to doing, and it's not there anymore.
I doubt it's changing the gameplay. It's probably just fixing some server.
I think it is too.
It's fixing Florida State's war chant
and Dynasty, the Dynasty problems.
Yeah, I guess Florida State's war chant and Rocky Top songs can't be heard on the Xbox S. They fixed that. Now it can. They had some wrong logos for
it's more of that stuff. But I don't know. I'm just saying.
Drew's locked into the updates here.
Drew has been locked into this game more than anybody. You better be the best player.
I'm
Someone
not,
asked
I'm
earlier,
not. I promise I'm not.
Who is the best player? It's like, it should be you.
No, it's not.
Someone says there's an update. RPOs aren't as powerful anymore. We'll see about that.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh. We'll see.
Well,
Did you just give away your first play?
No. If you played me, that's not my first play. That's not my first play.
Oh, my goodness. That's funny.
So it's not an RPO. Now I can limit it
That's
now.
right. I'm really helping you. We're not going to even play.
Rob is the favorite, I think, because Rob has played. Gold and CDOT played multiple times. The games were good. Rob beat CDOT a couple of times. I think that I think Rob is the best player. Spec got the odds right.
Okay. We'll see. Spec has been, I'll be honest, anytime Spec has handicapped an event at this station, he has done a horrible job.
Well, that means Bink's winning or you. That means Bink you or Dusty are winning.
He once made me the second worst favorite before the combine that I won. He made Gold the worst favorite in a hot dog derby that he won. He's not been good at handicapping future 610 hosts as it comes to events. You have to admit, Gold, his handicapping skills for us has not been strong.
It has not been good.
I would say the best update would be you getting stomped 56-0, Cody. The first of all,
I can't.
There's
a mercy rule.
Yeah, correct.
Actually, I think the mercy rule shouldn't apply to me. I should get buried. If I get buried, I should just get buried.
You're not going to lose by that much. You will not lose that badly, even if you played the whole game.
3-minute quarters. Wouldn't I have to throw like 5 pick sixes to lose by that much?
Over under interceptions thrown by Cody in game 1.
2.5.
2.5?
I'll take the under because he doesn't have enough time to do that. But
2.5.
3-minute quarters. Remember, we're playing 3-minute quarters, no accelerated clock. And I look, by the way, that was a funny text about the RPOs, but they didn't update those. Thank you.
RPO is just as effective for you.
But I don't run those, so.
Oh, not even a part of your game.
No.
In case anyone was listening.
Okay, Kirby Smart. Okay.
I don't run RPOs.
This is like this is whoever Washington's coach today saying that they haven't named Daniels their starting quarterback yet. Oh, it'll come with time. Cool, man.
Dan Quinn?
You got us all figured out, Dan Quinn.
Backwards hat guy.
Now, the team who plays you in 5 weeks will never be able to figure out how to play defense against you.
Well, they played the Bengals in week
Or the rest
2?
of the team. You know what? He's right. The rest of the team is
3?
going to respect him at least 45% more now because he didn't just give him the job, you know? They're going to respect him more because of that. That's the only logic behind these decisions, right? Are these see, this is sometimes, I think coaches might be just stupid sometimes. I think some coaches are just
You've said that multiple times.
I just think they're idiots.
From time management to...
They do a lot of stupid things. They do so many stupid things sometimes that make no sense.
It's always the same teams, too. I'm telling you. It's always the same ones.
Alex, if you were a college football coach, if tomorrow they told you you're taking over the University of Kansas, you wouldn't do no stripes on your helmet. Not until you earn it in this. You wouldn't do that.
Those
it's
stickers
stupid,
or anything
and
like that?
It means nothing.
Yeah, KU doesn't do the whole sticker helmet thing where we don't need that. We don't need that.
Not at your program?
No, we don't need stickers on our helmets. Thank you.
It does feel...
We don't need that. What are we going to put little miniature Jayhawks on the helmets?
Yeah.
No. Give me
Baby Jays.
Baby Jays.
Baby
Jays.
That's right.
It's a bunch of baby Jays on the helmets.
That's right.
You get an extra baby Jay. This is the pattern that we put them on.
I think a team should do that, but they should do it with like licensed characters so it feels like a real sticker book from when you were like 6. Like you should get a little SpongeBob one if you get a
Let's
sack.
just be real. If this is ever going to happen, it's going to be an NIL deal, and suddenly, Quick Trip's going to have stickers on the helmets, and they're going to give an NIL deal, and it's going to be like the Quick Trip Player of the Week, and you're going to get a damn Quick Trip sticker on your helmet.
Pretty smart.
If you were a guy,
That's gonna happen.
if you're a
I'm not
gas
gonna lie,
station,
that's a pretty good idea.
If you're a gas station in Columbus, Ohio, because Ohio State players start with no stickers on the side of their helmets at all. If you're wherever, a gas station, that is your sponsor. You're going to buy a bunch of mini, I don't know, Shell
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're
perfect.
each player, it represents your instead of being
That's
like
Quick
just going to be.
This is a great idea, and you should probably do it.
It's going to be NIL stickers.
That is
on your helmet.
And the guy who wins Player of the Week gets like a $500 gas card.
You're going to have a Raisin Cane sticker on your helmet as well.
It makes a lot of sense.
That actually is a
lot
really
of sense.
You're welcome, NCAA.
That's almost
You're welcome.
Almost
Big
better
12
than
and Brett Yormark feels right for this.
Yeah, you're welcome for the idea.
That almost is better than just a patch on the jersey because it's just one patch. Where on the helmet you get a bunch of them.
Just a tiny little sticker. No, we don't need a massive one. Just a tiny little sticker. That's it. The refs are already going to start having sponsors on their ref uniforms this year, I think. So,
can you just give me one tip on how to not throw a pick?
Don't throw the ball.
Don't hold the button down too long.
Oh, you got it. Oh. Huh.
Yeah, it's
Right,
timed.
I mean, yeah.
There's some timing to it. Plus, you can control
And when
where
you're about
you throw
when you're
it with the
about
left
to
stick.
when you're about to run towards the end zone, like if you are fortunate enough to get a pick six and there's nobody running by you and you're trying to showboat, make sure on Xbox you hit the LB or left trigger right before you get to the goal line.
Or just don't showboat and just run into the end zone. I'm telling you
Drew
now,
didn't even pick up on it.
just run into the end zone.
That doesn't feel like the right button based on any football game I've ever
Don't lateral it back to an
LB
offensive
or left
lineman.
trigger on Xbox. When you're wide open on a breakaway, hit that button and something really cool happens. So
all
make sure you do that.
of a sudden your offensive lineman has the ball.
Yeah, I like big guy touchdowns, so that might be a good idea, you know?
So Cody might be using the trigger button. Then.
I'm actually going to sub out offensive lineman at fullback in goal line.
Go for it. Yeah.
Are you able to do that?
I don't think so. You can change
I
the
think they
formation and
protect you
go
from
heavy.
doing
You
that.
can go heavy and jumbo, and you can change some like halfback sub. You can move some stuff
You
around.
can go Maryland and just have four. Have
Yeah.
the quarterback,
Someone else
two
says true.
fullbacks,
So you don't hold the button too long. Just tap the A button, and every pass will be great for you.
I don't like the pressure-sensitive passing in this game. just
tap
I
it.
feel so screwed. I haven't walked into something where I had less chance of a win in so long.
Just don't pass and just
We'll
run,
see.
Cody. Just run.
I'm nervous about playing Texas. Sean's Texas, my first round opponent. Drew, you're playing probably Oregon. It looks like.
Bring it on,
Cody's
baby.
playing. We learned who you're playing.
Hopefully, we're playing
Yeah,
a
he didn't
Jordan
tell
Hare.
me who he is, though. His
Okay.
name's Arthur.
All right, guys.
He's a pretty young Arthur. Maybe the youngest
We'll
Arthur
see
in the world.
you at Hy-Vee Arena. Thanks to Level Up. We've got our 610 Sports Radio College Football 25 tournament. Check-in starts in the 2 o'clock hour. You'll hear us during the drive as well. Games start at 3. Even if you're not on the tourney, stop on by. We'll be hanging out throughout the rest of the afternoon and early evening. Talk to you guys later today.